stop the great Gretzky and the Kings. After 2 games, the critiques are in. Game 1, the story was certainly Troy Gamble as the Vancouver Canucks stole a 6-5 victory. 2 nights later, Gamble was great again, but the story belonged to Wayne Gretzky. The rebound turned aside, another shot, they score! Wayne Gretzky had scored yet another gigantic playoff goal, pulling the Kings out of a hole and sending the series north to the beautiful city of Vancouver, tied at a game each. This city is caught up now in Canuck Mania, and tonight it's Game 3 of the Smythe Division semifinal. The Los Angeles Kings and the Vancouver Canucks, exclusively on Sports Channel America. The Vancouver Canucks have never been amongst the NHL's elite teams at season's end. But come April, if here's when the Vancouver team makes the playoffs, opponents begin to worry. 2 years ago, the Canucks came to the postseason party a 43-point underdog to the first-place Calgary Flames. History shows the Canucks drove the series to 19 minutes and 21 seconds of sudden death overtime in the 7th game before being beaten. There are times this building is called the Pacific Mausoleum. That, too, changes in April. The Pacific Coliseum is rocking tonight. The Canucks now have home ice advantage as the series shifts from Los Angeles. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Sports Channel America's continuing coverage of this series. We welcome you to beautiful Vancouver. The home team feels they're in the driver's seat, pushing Los Angeles to overtime, but losing Game 2 after getting that first big victory. The key in their minds, the fact that they've been able to force the Los Angeles defense. Oh, yes, they frustrated the goal scorers on the Los Angeles team, too. But to our way of thinking, the key story is goaltending. And a young man who turned 24 years of age yesterday, goaltender Troy Gamble, is that story. He's with my colleague Ed Westfall.
Was there ever a question as to whether or not you're going to be playing in this hockey game tonight?
I think it still is a question here tonight. Kirk's going to dress tonight, and I'm dressing, so it's kind of up in the air. I'm not quite sure who's playing. He just told us both to come ready and be ready to play.
And what's the reason that you wouldn't be playing?
Well, I had a little bit of the flu bug, and we got knocked on the head there by Jay Miller in the first period last game, so I wasn't feeling that well, but I have no excuse now. I feel fine, and he's going to have to make a decision.
We saw you at the skate this morning. Looked pretty good.
Well, I tried to get out there early to convince him that I was fine. I was out there with all the power play specialists this morning, so I hope I get the opportunity, and if not, I'm sure Kirk will play fine.
How about your play now so far in the first 2 games?
Well, I've been fairly satisfied. I was disappointed on the game-winning goal when Sandstrom took the shot. Maybe I could have had a better control of the rebound, but overall, I've been impressed by our team play and by the intensity of the playoffs. I always wondered, well, why should you play better defense? Why should you be more intense in playoffs? Why not play that way in regular season? But I guess it's 80 games regular season, and this playoff comes down to short term.
Thanks for the visit.
Thanks.
The coach of the Los Angeles Kings, Tom Webster, returns after a 4-game suspension. We'll find out how his team reacts to his presence behind the bench. Tonight's other 3 Campbell Conference playoff games are well along now. CJ Papa will update the scores when we return. Then we'll find out whether the Canucks or the Kings will take the lead in the series at Vancouver. We'll be right back following these messages. In Vancouver. Listen to this. Will we hear the referee's whistle? The referee tonight is Dan Maruelli, working the lines, Gerard Gauthier and Jerry Pateman. And another wrinkle has been thrown at us. It's Kelly Rudy, obviously, for the Kings, Ed.
Kelly Rudy, 30 years old. His win on Saturday in the overtime game was his 9th in playoff history as a as a Los Angeles King. Kirk McLean, 24 years old. His last complete game, February the 21st. 63 games 2 years ago, only 41 this past season.
Now we begin to speculate. What's wrong with Troy Gamble? It certainly wasn't his goaltending. His ability was great in both games. But Pat Quinn has put a different player into the lineup each game now, including tonight, Kirk McLean. Ellick is at center ice, facing off against Ronning of the Canucks. The Black-clad Kings getting to the Vancouver line, but no further. Here's Courtnall. Turned back at the blue line. Up with it is Duchesne to Robitaille. He's got Taylor with him. Two men drop back, and the Kings go offside at the Vancouver blue line.
In this hockey game, Jiggs, it's going to be the last change to the Vancouver Canucks. Interesting, they have Ronning out against Taylor, Casper, and Robitaille. Just about what you'd think the Los Angeles Kings would like to have.
Yeah, instead they put the Ellick line out there. Now Casper has come out on the ice. And we'll see if Vancouver will go line matching early. Apparently not. Pat Quinn is going to let Tom Webster do what he wants. Casper, Donnelly, and Kudelski against Courtnall, Linden, and Ronning. Ronning has tipped the puck into the Los Angeles zone. Cleared right out by Robinson. Kudelski dumped it off the boards, and here's Lidster. Dougie Lidster wearing the C again tonight. He and Linden are co-captains. Robinson from back of the net, met there by Linden. They force Robinson, don't they? And now around to Donnelly. Can't clear it out on the boards. Courtnall has put it back of the net, and here's Robinson. Can't get it to Kudelski. They had a man open in front, but failed to find Linden in time. Now Bob Kudelski for the Kings. Up ahead to Casper. That hits Ronning. In front is Courtnall. He's bumped and knocked down. Duchesne was right with him, and Donnelly ends up flipping it in the air and on into the Vancouver zone. That'll be an icing call. Nice welcome home for this Vancouver team.
Has to make you feel good as a hockey player playing in the enemy's rink 2 nights in a row and then coming home to this kind of a welcome. I suppose when you look at all this white waving around, I remember 82 that you spoke about. Just hope it's not crying towels for the Vancouver Canucks. Pat Quinn, interesting. Never said anything, wouldn't give us any kind of a hint about the goaltending change. Even the goaltenders didn't know. We had the opportunity, as listeners and watchers found out, talking to Troy Gamble. He didn't know.
And I think when he found out he was rather upset, wasn't he?
He sure was. He slammed his stick into the corner of the player's box when he went off the ice from warm-up, and that must have been when they found out.
The Canucks with Mazur here on the right side, forcing Waters deep into the Los Angeles zone. They came right out in front. Greg Adams had the chance. Giving shot is turned aside. They fight for it in front, and finally the Kings able to clear it out. Lume has dropped it back to dinner. Listen to this crowd. Larry Arnoff failed to clear it out for the Canucks. Forechecking is Sandstrom, but the puck goes to Lume. Now to Adams. He runs into McSorley, and Sandstrom dumps it in deep. McLean started out of the net. Gretzky is out for Los Angeles, along with Granato and Sandstrom. McSorley and Waters had been the defense combination. Now the Kings begin to change up. McSorley feeds Brian Benning. Up to Ellick. Ellick shoots one from the blue line to change direction. Robitaille waiting over on right wing, puts it back of the net. Taylor, Ellick, and Robitaille together. Vancouver has Capuano moving up the right wing boards, but Taylor knocked the puck in deeper. Dana Merzen feeds it to Capuano off his stick, away from Benning as well. There'll be no icing as the Kings go back to regroup the play. Nedved comes in to forecheck for the Canucks. Nedved out there along with Capuano and Momesso. Ellick slowed up at the blue line. That gave the Canucks an opportunity to play it. Curvers able to move it out towards center ice. It's shot right back in again. Tom Curvers retreats, and the Kings go for a player change. The Canucks quickly spotting that, come up the far side. Here's Momesso. Momesso gets pushed back, but not until he had dumped the puck in deep. Robinson trying to find Tonelli. He's well covered. Going to battle with Falk. Falk back in the lineup tonight. And he just fired one off the pads of Rudy. Gary Falk with it again, centered it behind Murphy, and Jay Miller leads the rush. The pass into the skates of John Tonelli. The puck ends up in the Canucks zone. Gino Ojek is on the ice. The crowd reacting to his presence. Ojek with a nice pass. Falk over the line. The shot blocked by Rudy. Comes back toward the point for Lidster, and his drive doesn't get through. Murphy fails to get it back to the net. The Canucks right back on it, however. Gary Volk puts it back in the goal. Duchesne and Ojek after it, and LA is able to clear it out towards center ice. We haven't played quite 4 minutes of the opening period at Vancouver. There is no score. The Canucks have forced the Kings time after time. Dumping it in here. In after it is Gino Ojek. Got checked. Robinson from back of the net. The Ronning line comes out. The crowd reacts to that as we watch Duchesne blast one in on a deflection. It rattles around to Casper, and he's put it into the mesh at the side of the net. Up with it is Ronning. 3 Kings back, 3 Canucks moving up. Ronning to Courtnall. Tried to move it in, but Ronning was well covered. So is Linden. And again, good forechecking by this Vancouver team. The puck comes back toward Lume. Into Ronning. Kadelsky stepped in front of him. Courtnall recovers here. Feeds the blue line. This is Diddick. Big slap shot. Pad save. Booming off Rudy's pads, and it's covered and held for a face-off. Our first scrum of the night. McSorley takes exception to Ronning. And everybody ends up behind Kelly Rudy's net.
Suppose it's only a matter of time before we were going to get that. Ronning cruising around by the net. There's Waters on Trevor Linden. Usually it's just to keep one or the other out of getting into fights.
Dan Barrawelli's going to set the tempo early. There will be penalties on this scrum. The Canucks and the Kings are scoreless.
To help relieve her heartburn, her antacid uses aluminum and magnesium, but his is Tums, and Tums has calcium.
Something my body needs anyway. I like that.
The Bruins, Rangers, and Canadiens are a small sample of the talent in the Wales Conference. These teams are locked in a do-or-die struggle in their bid to win the Stanley Cup. The Wales Conference Division semifinal. See continuing coverage on Sports Channel America tomorrow.
It was a rainy day today as you look at this beautiful city on the shores of the Pacific Ocean. The Kings and the Canucks, Game 3 of the Smythe Division semifinal. Penalties here called against McSorley and Ronning at the 4:35 mark. And then you saw Waters begin to scuffle. And additional penalties are being handed out by Dan Barrawelli. Trevor Linden will join Ronning in the penalty box. And Waters goes off for LA.
Good opportunity, Jiggs, when you think of the scoring opportunity that Adams had, and then Volk had one on a pass from Dino Ojek. So 2 good scoring chances for Vancouver, particularly Greg Adams. He missed the open net, shot it across the goalmouth to the other side. Marty McSorley adjusting his sweater. Trevor Linden on the right, Cliff Ronning on the left.
Roughing penalties called against both teams. Kelly Rudy has faced 4 shots so far. And here's a look at what Ed was talking about, that cross-ice feed. Right.
How's that for an open net? Wow. Greg Adams hasn't got his timing, I guess you could say, back. He missed 14 games. Dislocated elbow and a cracked wrist.
Ouch. Gretzky is on the ice. So is Larry Arnott for Vancouver. Gretzky centers for Granato and Sandstrom. Sandstrom off the boards. Tony Granato. Checked at the Vancouver line. Lume quick to get to the puck. Lume and Diddick, the defense combination. Mazur and Adams with Larry Arnott in the middle. That's Igor with a pass to Mazur. Mazur picks it up again and shot it wide. Gerald Diddick left it back to the net, and Granato feeds it up the wing to Wayne Gretzky. It's intercepted. Lume chops on it. Mazur and Benning go back to the net, arm in arm. Mazur got away from Benning. Gets into the slot with a shot that's held by Rudy. The Canucks are swarming all over Los Angeles. And again, we get some pushing and shoving after the whistle.
Pretty good puck handling by Mazur. He turned from behind the net, went all the way to the front of the net, got a weak shot away, but again, some looseness.
A company can learn a lot in 125 years. Valvoline has. You learn in the lab, you learn on the road, you learn on the racetrack. As you learn, you make your product better, and better, and better, to Today's Valvoline will keep your engine cleaner than ever before. And cleaner means more protection against engine wear. 125 years of quality. That's why people who know use Valvoline.
April in Vancouver. The fans into it. The Canucks into it. Out shooting Los Angeles 5-0. Teams at equal strength. Pat Quinn has sent Peter Nedved to center ice. Momesso and Capuano join him. The LAK line is out. LAK, Taylor, and Robitaille for Los Angeles. After winning the draw, the Kings try to come out on the left wing boards and are turned back. Robinson. Nedved knocked it away from him, but it went right to Todd Ellick. Ellick has Taylor moving up the right wing boards. Can't get the puck to him. Drop pass here. Duchesne with a shot. Robitaille had the rebound there and then knocked away. Quickly, the Canucks through center ice. Nedved trying to move on Taylor. Gets hauled down. There will be a penalty to veteran Dave Taylor. Nedved slow to get back to his feet. You remember in Game 2, he was hit. Had to receive some attention from the Canuck training staff. He's down again.
Kind of pressure that the Vancouver Canucks are applying on Los Angeles is going to create scoring opportunities. One, it's also going to create power play opportunities. Here, Taylor, you see his loose hand, his right hand. He reaches out, grabs a hold of Nedved, helped him to the ice, and then wham, into the boards. Here's how that play started. Pretty pass. That was Capuano to Nedved. In the act of shooting, gets pulled down.
Dave Taylor takes a holding penalty. We're 5 minutes and 44 seconds into the period. And again, we get a look at the Vancouver head trainer, Larry Ashley, attending to Peter Nedved, and three Kings. McSorley, Waters, and now Taylor. Look at the youthful face of Peter Nedved. Crowd reacts as he's back on his skates. Each team has had one power play goal in the series so far. The Canucks have had only 3 opportunities with the man advantage.
3 of his 10 goals during the regular season were scored against the Los Angeles Kings. 2 of them in LA.
Now Pat Quinn puts his power play out on the ice. They spent quite a while this morning working on the power play. In fact, at the beginning of the game, you heard Troy Gamble talk about the fact that he went out and took shots, but they were moving the puck, moving it, getting into pretty good position. That was this morning. Of course, they weren't using the LA penalty killers at practice, were they? Larry Aronoff is in the middle. Momesso on one side, Capuano on the other. They use Curvers and Lume as the point men. This is Lume to Curvers, back to Lume. In front to Capuano, and it was tipped away from him. Held here by Larry Aronoff. Nice pass to Momesso, and his shot was deflected by Blake. That's Lume pinching in. Put it back of the net. Capuano gets bumped. The Kings try to move it up the boards, but not out. There's Curvers with a drive. It got through, and Rudy, although he didn't see it, stopped it.
Instinct is so much a part of goaltending. Wow.
Blake challenged Momesso. Momesso responded.
Responded to 2 or 3 of the Kings. The fans here are loving the aggressiveness of the young Vancouver players. That's Tom Curvers. There's the shot that Kelly Rudy did not see, but he was able to make the save. Looks as though the way he hung his head after making the stop, he may have hurt his leg as he slid it out. Take another look. Kelly Rudy. Vancouver using the extra man perfectly. They were on the puck quickly. The puck is to Curvers on the bottom. 24, there's his shot. You could tell Kelly Rudy did not see it. Look how quickly he brought his legs together. His right leg, I thought he may have hurt. There's Curvers at the top of your screen. As he winds up to let it fly, Kelly Rudy spreads out low. That deflected off the defenseman, Rob Blake, number 4.
Los Angeles has taken Momesso away from the Vancouver power play now. Blake goes off as well. 2 minutes each for roughing. Nedved, Larry Aronoff, and Courtnall. A mixed bag on the Vancouver forward line here. Nedved into Courtnall. He put it in front. Larry Aronoff was covered. Curvers holds it. That's up Lume. Plays it to the right side. Nedved fanned on his shot. Robinson banks it off the glass, off the boards as well. And Curvers tracks it down. Kings change up. McIntyre and Kadowski out as the forwards. A hard shot just wide of Rudy. Ends up on the mesh outside the goal and is called now by referee Dan Marawelli. 1 minute, 2 seconds remaining in the penalty to Dave Taylor. Los Angeles using Kadowski and McIntyre as the forwards. Robinson and Duchesne as the defense, and the youngster getting a great vote of confidence. Nedved out on the power play for the Canucks.
Particularly after getting rocketed into the boards by Taylor. And it wasn't the initial slide into the boards, it was the repercussion as Taylor rode in with him. He bounced off the boards and then got slammed back in, both of them down on the ice. Hardest spot on the boards to land against is where the boards anchor into the ice. They do not move. There is no give.
Nedved has gone back to the Vancouver bench. It'll be Ronning, Linden, and Courtnall. Still Lumet and Curvers on the point. On the face-off, Casper lost it. Curvers shoots one that's deflected up into the seats. Canucks winning a big draw. Now 57 seconds remaining in the power play.
That's a close-up look at Tom Curvers. Well, he seems to be more settled, Jigs. He's played well for Vancouver in the first 2 hockey games. A little nervous, I thought, in the first game, in the first and second period. But since then, he has settled down and made some fine passes. Of course, on the power play, you've seen a couple of good shots that he's been able to get through.
He put up 13 points for the Canucks in the last 10 games of the regular season. I had a long talk with him this morning, and he is, as you said, settled. He's enjoying it here. And I mentioned earlier how he was disappointed with the trade from Toronto. And that's only because he had been told that he wouldn't be going anywhere, and that if they were going to move him, they would let him know and make sure that it was a city or a team that he'd be happy with. He didn't hear anything except you're going to Vancouver.
Well, as he picks up the puck now, a lot of players, it's not easy for them to play the game, and then you unsettle their circumstances, and it makes it just that much harder.
The Canucks get across the line. This is Trevor Linden. Ronning cutting in. Linden to the backhand. Ronning shoots. Rudy down. The puck in the far corner for Courtnall. He feeds the point. This is Lumet to Curvers. A shot deflected. Linden can't jam it by Rudy, and it goes out of play.
Boy, the scoring chances are there. Vancouver had better start putting them in. 23 seconds remaining on Taylor's penalty. But you can't come any closer when you think of Adams, the first opportunity before the power play, along with Volk. And since then, look at here. Linden, who really got things started, goes down in front of the net. That puck shot by Courtnall, deflected. Prior to that, it was Ronning. Here's Ronning off to the side of the net. He just wants to pop it in the top. I don't know how Kelly Rudy got to it, or whether it was Kelly Rudy that got it, or the defenseman. There's Waters trying to protect in front of the net. There's the shot by Linden. McSorley knocks him down and away.
To set the situation, 23 seconds remaining in the penalty against the Los Angeles Kings. Ronning has Curvers and Courtnall with them, but they don't get control of the puck on the draw and are forced out. Lumet. Immediately Linden is bumped off the puck. Curvers with it here. Right back to Trevor Linden. He dumps it in off the boards. Courtnall got tripped up. And the Kings are able to clear it the length of the ice. That kills off the penalty against Taylor. Teams at 6 aside. There is no score. We've played 8 minutes of the opening period. Steve Duchesne up to Gretzky. One touch toward Tony Granato. Granato has dumped it in. Gretzky can't get to it. He got slowed up by Linden. He was in the middle of the player change, and now Lidster has forced the Kings back. This is Marty McSorley.
Word in the first period, finish the checks. Vancouver has done it very well. Los Angeles hasn't had an opportunity.
LA, I'm sure, are talking about how they're going to get rid of this crowd. They've got to take them out of it somehow. That simply means score a goal. They've had but one shot at Kirk McLean. Waters banks one off the boards. They get it out of the zone, but not over center, and Lidster forces them right back. Rudy will try it himself. Cleared the zone, but nothing more. And again, they'll try to come out. Which direction? How are they going to do it this time? It's up to Tim Waters. and he overled Thomas Sandstrom. So Lindster forces them back in, but Gretzky comes away with the puck. Played it away from Larry Arnott to Sandstrom. He can't handle it. Lindster for the Canucks. Across the line to Larry Arnott, and a give and go. Lindster shot, turned aside by Rudy. Now Lindster centers, Larry Arnott the drive. Rudy another save. Marty McSorley plays it up the boards, and again they fail to clear it out. Igor centers to Adams, and his shot is bounced around in front and then goes out of play. We're midway through the opening period, pausing now for a regional break. You're watching Sports Channel America's exclusive Stanley Cup coverage.
If you're concerned about getting rid of weeds this way, try a better way. I'm Jim Martindale, here to introduce you to the Weed Popper. Place the Weed Popper next to a weed, step down, and the weed pops right out. The Weed Popper pulls weeds without kneeling, bending, and without chemicals that may be dangerous to our groundwater supply. The Weed Popper, with its 100% lifetime guarantee, pops weeds out as easy as 1, 2, 3.
The Weed Popper is available at Kmart, Lumberjack, participating our own and coast-to-coast hardware stores. Makes a great gift for friends who garden.
At Northland's Coliseum, midway through the second period, Ronnie Stern strips Mark Messier, and Stefan Matteau beats Grant Fuhr. It's Calgary 2, Edmonton 1 in the second period. Let's go back to the Pacific Coliseum.
All right, CJ. Calgary getting out on top again, 2-1 in the game in Edmonton, as you saw. And here we're midway through the first period. Vancouver has outshot the Kings 10-1. They had 3 shots, I believe it was, on the power play while Taylor was off for holding. Now the penalty boxes are empty. All those roughing and strange penalties are finished up. I guess they weren't really that strange. Get people pawing at one another in those scrums after the whistle.
Well, a lot of people look at the 10 shots, Jigs, and they may not think a whole lot about 10 shots halfway through the first period, but they were quality shots, better than half of them.
Some real good scoring opportunities. And now Vancouver using their 4th line. Murphy, he'll play at center ice. Valk is on one side, Ojek on the other. Dave Taylor can't move the puck up the boards, and a backhand shot from Lume is blocked. Time after time Saturday night, especially in the third period, Lume was up the ice joining the play, and he's been in there again tonight. And we're only in the first period. The Kings have put the puck in the Vancouver end of the ice. There's only about the marks of 4 skate blades out there so far in that end. And we don't get any more as the Canucks were out quickly, and Diddick has the puck at center ice. Diddick over the line, played it around Duchesne, gets to it, drops it back. Murphy with a shot that's wide of the net. That's Robinson playing it up the left side. The veteran John Tonelli turns it over. Murphy does likewise. This is Steve Duchesne to Tonelli. Rushes across the line, got slowed up. The puck back to Duchesne, centers, and that's tipped wide. The Kings, Jay Miller, John Tonelli, jamming the front of the net. Tonelli trying to work it to the blue line, did. Then the Canucks get it out of the zone. Some banging in front of the board, in front of the bench. Tonelli brings the puck over the line, but whistles all over the place. Marty McSorley pushing it forward. You've got Murphy involved. Now Tonelli comes back, wrapping an arm around Omesso. And referee Dan Maruelli is signaling a couple of penalties. 9.5 minutes remaining in a scoreless first period.
Old Spice, in conjunction with Sports Channel America and the National, presents the Fans' Choice for Most Valuable Player. Here's a chance to cast your vote for MVP. To vote, dial 1-900-896-2333. You must know the team and jersey number of the player you want to vote for. 2 players will be elected from each of the 4 playoff rounds, 1 from each conference. Winners will be featured on Sports Channel America at the end of each round. 1-900-896-2333. It's simple, it's fun, and it's your chance to have your opinion count.
More penalties. There's Jay Miller.
Jay Miller in the penalty box for Los Angeles. Boy, some heavy jamming down in front of the players' benches, and you always worry that there's going to be players sitting on the bench foolish enough to get involved. Take a look at some pretty heavy hits along the boards. That was Tonelli, and then Tonelli gets wrapped by Murphy. Then Murphy really nailed McIntyre with an elbow. Gerald Diddick, I believe, in the penalty box for Vancouver. There's John Tonelli.
A look at the Vancouver bench. And Troy Gamble, the backup role tonight for the man who starred in both games played in Los Angeles. Kirk McLean is in the net. You haven't heard his name much, but he handles the puck here. Vancouver trying to come out of the zone. Able to dump the puck wide of Kelly Rudy. He was out, mishandled it. Now gets it up the boards toward Robitaille, is turned back by Momesso. Momesso, Capuano, and Nedved forechecking here for Vancouver. Things cleared out, and Robitaille was slammed on the boards. Back forward is Rob Blake. He's allowed LAK to handle the puck. Right back to Blake. Up to the middle. Taylor to Robitaille. Touched it. Moves on into the Canuck zone. Lidster will take it back in the net. Nice move to get away from LAK. Here comes Nedved. Peter Nedved trying to split the defense. The wraparound pass is picked off by Robitaille. Robitaille joined by Gretzky and LAK. Wayne Gretzky hears it from the crowd as he gives the puck to Duchesne. Duchesne with a drive. Stick save by McLean. And Nedved back for the rebound. Feeds Momesso. Gretzky knocked it away from him at center ice. It's recovered. Granato turned back at the Vancouver line. Up with it. Trevor Linden. He gets checked. Granato's able to deflect it into the Vancouver zone, and Lidster gives chase. Sandstrom chasing him. Wayne Gretzky unable to drop it back toward the Kings defense. Duchesne takes over at the line. Granato gets checked at center ice, and here's Curvers. Taken down is Granato. Play allowed to continue, and a hand pass is being indicated by referee Dan Barawelli. We have 8 minutes remaining in a scoreless first period at Vancouver.
Retinitis pigmentosa knows no age, an eye disease that affects young and old alike. RP slowly narrows your vision, often resulting in blindness. There's no cure for RP yet, but it doesn't have to be that way. Your support of the RP Foundation could be the great save for thousands of people. RP needs your help. I'm Wayne Gretzky. Support the RP Foundation.
That's Troy Gamble. He had the flu on Saturday prior to the hockey game. It took a lot out of him. They must feel his strength isn't there. So 24-year-old Kirk McLean, who has not played a full hockey game since February the 21st, and has 3 shots on him so far in this game.
Combined, the Canucks goaltending was 16th in the league this season. Not good in that respect, but they've been just as good as Los Angeles in the series. Each team has scored 8. Each obviously has given up 8. Series tied 1 game each, and Tim Waters back of the net, trying to untie this first period. Nowhere to go with it.
Forwards are too far up the ice. He can't make a pass.
Casper rolls it down into the Vancouver zone. The exchange. And Merzen, after taking it from the goalkeeper, lets the other goalkeeper handle it. Kelly Rudy's outlet. Nowhere near his teammates. That's Trevor Linden feeding Courtnall. Ronning is over the line on the left side as Courtnall holds the puck. Gave it to Ronning. Couldn't cut in on Kadowski. Marty McSorley and Linden shoulder to shoulder. Courtnall pokes the puck back toward Ronning. Nice move on Casper. Ronning from back of the net, trying to center. Kadowski beats him. Now Trevor Linden into the skates, and Courtnall can't get a shot away. Casper can't clear the zone either, but play is called. Cliff Ronning is down on the ice. Courtnall is exchanging words with the referee and with Marty McSorley. Reason for the play stoppage, maybe what?
Ronning took a heavy elbow from Kadowski. There's Ronning. He's so quick. Got away from everybody. There's Kadowski. Wham! Oh, wow. Looked more like roller derby, didn't it? For a minute there, didn't you?
No penalty. Face-off is coming outside the blue line. Final score, Chicago comes back to beat Minnesota. Boy, Minnesota with a big lead early in that game. The Blackhawks have taken a 2-1 lead in that series.
They were ahead 5-2 at one time. Jeremy Roenick getting the winning goal in the game.
You know, upon the conclusion of all the games tonight, every one of the series will be 2-1. And Not since 1988. The playoffs, the opening round, has that happened. Looking at the Vancouver bench, Dave Capuano, the 22-year-old, takes a seat. Pat Quinn has Larry Aronoff out there along with Adams and Mazur. Adams trying to center, gets tied up in the corner, and Duchesne moves it around the boards. Chasing it quickly is Lidster, puts it back to the LA goal, but Robinson is there. Larry Aronoff cuts off the centering attempt. Very quickly again, Vancouver on the puck in the LA zone, but Mazur turns it over, and Gretzky gets checked outside the line. Up with it now, Granato fakes the shot. Trying to move in on Dirk. Granato driving to the net, puts it on goal, it comes back. Robinson's shot is blocked, and there will be a penalty here against the Vancouver defenseman, Robert Dirk. The LA Kings get their first power play opportunity. There is still no score.
Extra strength Rolaids antacid. Stronger because it has more calcium carbonate, more than any Tums tablet, and salt-free. More calcium carbonate and salt-free. This settles it once and for all.
Head and Shoulders for my serious dandruff? Blue is better. Extra medicated Selsun Blue.
With a medicine doctors recommend most. Medicine that relieves flaking better than Head and Shoulders.
Blue is better.
Selsun Blue, doctor recommended #1.
Tony Granato's dart to the net is held up by Robert Dirk. He draws a penalty for holding. Here's Granato. He gets outside. See the left hand now as he reaches out, grabs a hold of him? As long as you don't use both hands, generally you get away with it. But that time you didn't.
Welcome to the Pacific Coliseum in Vancouver, British Columbia. There is no score. We have 6 minutes and 21 seconds remaining in the opening period. Vancouver is out shooting Los Angeles by a margin of 10-5. But now Dirk is in the penalty box. And the Kings lose the draw on the power play and will have to chase it as Mazur rolls it down the ice. Blake and Duchesne on the points. John Tonelli, Wayne Gretzky, and Thomas Sandstrom up front for Los Angeles. The pass behind Sandstrom. Tonelli chases it, but Gerald Diddick drops back. The Ducks defenseman put it right into the skates of Blake. Puts one in front. Deflected wide. Gretzky can't get to it. The Canucks do and shoot it down the ice. Tonelli had been causing a little ruckus in front of the Canuck goal. You hear the crowd reacting to that. He is just back out at center ice now.
He paid the price, though, Jiggs. Gerald Diddick flattened it.
And on that ensuing play, Vancouver broke up the LA rush, but now Gretzky gets them over the line. Drop pass, Duchesne holds it at the blue line, lets it go, and it's deflected wide off Curvers. Gretzky taking Curvers' effort to move it out of the boards. Has set up Duchesne, lets one go, blocked by McLean. Kirk McLean in the nets tonight for the Vancouver Canucks.
That was his first confident save of the game so far, Jiggs. A nice sliding pad save off a 25-foot shot.
Now the LA power play comes to center with Dave Taylor shooting it in off the boards. It bounces out in front. Curvers gets to it. McSorley butted that out of the air. Finally, the Canucks do move it out. Mazur gets them into the Los Angeles zone with his shot. Rudy the save. Each team with a shot on goal during this man advantage. 27 seconds left in the LA power play as McSorley shoots it in. Hard around, but it's cut off by McLean. McLean shot it toward the corner. It hit Taylor. And Igor Larionov was able to find the defenseman moving up. Lidster is over the line after taking the pass. Gave it to Mazur. A shot off Rudy. The rebound spins in front and is controlled now by Benning. Out to Gretzky. Gretzky with Robitaille. 2 men back. Kings can go no further. Marty McSorley feeds the left side. Here's Benning, and the crowd reacting to the fact that the Canucks killed off the penalty. Allowed only 1 shot on goal by Los Angeles. And now another penalty call coming. Vancouver, I believe, had too many men on the ice. Let's get an update elsewhere. Here's C.J. Papa.
All right, thanks, Jiggs, at Northland's Coliseum. Watch the passing by the Oilers. Peter Kleeman to Charlie Huddy, his first goal. They're tied at 2 in the second period. Let's go back to Pacific Coliseum.
And as we return here, Ed, we've got a roughing penalty, huh?
That's right. Behind the play, Mazur, who had just done a wonderful job killing off the penalty as a forward, takes a roughing penalty as he goes off the ice. So back to the power play. Go the Los Angeles Kings. They had only 1 shot on goal. They had another one just after the power play was over. But matching that one shot, shorthanded, was Mazur. He had the best scoring opportunity of either team.
This is one area that Vancouver does not want to get into, and that is playing a man short. At even strength, they feel they match up pretty well with LA.
During the first two games, they did that. They did not take the bad penalties. They want to start now just because they're at home.
We're going to get a couple of offsetting penalties. Granato and Diddick. They went at one another right from the face-off. Granato got pulled back, hacked at the legs of Diddick. Diddick took a punch at Granato. And here's the result. They get Granato away from the power play, but they take Diddick away from the Vancouver penalty killing.
You'd have to get a feeling that the Vancouver Canucks are the losers. Two of their better penalty killers are now in the penalty box.
Got another update from playoff action around the NHL. For that, we go back to our studios and CJ Papa.
Thanks, Jiggs. At Northland's Coliseum, just a minute 35 after Edmonton tied the game at 2, Gary Roberts makes it 3-2 Calgary in the second period. Let's go back to Pacific Coliseum.
That battle continues, the Battle of Alberta, 3-2 now. And here, no score. Los Angeles continuing with the man advantage, the result of Mazur's penalty. They'll start the power play. Rob Blake takes it back in the net. Blake, one of the longest sticks in the NHL. And he's using that aluminum shafted stick now. Over the line with his pass is Taylor to Robitaille, dropped it back. Steve Duchesne got checked. Courtnall quickly is after it, trying to cut him off as Blake. Courtnall shot, Rudy the save. A penalty being called. A tripping penalty called against Los Angeles, and the teams will be at 5 aside. Man, are we sitting in on great playoff hockey.
Each year, the experts at Car and Driver look at over 100 cars, so you don't have to. From the current new cars, they just picked their 10 best. At the most, you'll probably only buy one of them. That's too bad, because 2 of the 10 best are Mercury's. Mercury Sable and Mercury Tracer LTS. All this in the quality of a Mercury.
Now, you were talking about Robert Blake and how long the stick it was that he carried. It wasn't long enough here, though. Jeff Courtnall, there's Blake, number 4. He reached out, good play by Courtnall. He got the shot away, tried for the rebound. Kelly Rudy cleared the puck. Blake goes to the penalty box. That nullifies the power play that Los Angeles was enjoying.
Face off, as you see, in the Los Angeles end. Larionov right on Benning after the Kings had won the draw. And Robinson has gone cross-ice. This is Gretzky. Number 99 to Benning, trying to feed Alec as he drove to the net. Nothing doing for the Kings, and Jyrki Lumme comes away with it. Lumme to Larionov, and then right back to the defenseman. Lumme up the middle, missed Adams with that feed. Adams goes in after a loose puck. Gave it to Doug Lidster. Lidster centers. Larionov with a shot that's deflected. Lidster puts it back in the net. Benning able to clear it up to Wayne Gretzky. Quickly, the Canucks get back on defense. Lidster taking the puck. Punched it back toward Lumme. To Greg Adams. Adams with a drop to Lumme. Lumme taken to the boards by Waters. They continue to battle for it. Adams stays well out of there. Now moves in, as does Robinson, but the puck has been frozen for a face-off. 31 seconds left in the penalty to Mazur. 1 minute and 3 seconds left in the penalty against Blake.
What another nice find, the Vancouver Canucks. Jyrki Lumme, boy, he's more and more every game, Jakes. He's up the ice, handling the puck. He darts in, comes back. A big asset. It's almost like having 4 forwards when you're in the position, although they were just, or are now 4 against 4. It's the right thing to do if the timing is right. You can look very poorly if you get caught, particularly in a 4-on-4 situation.
Lumme coming over from Montreal to the Vancouver Canucks. Not this past season, the year before. Not so much today, and the talk around the community too, is the way the Vancouver Canucks matched up with the Calgary Flames in the opening round 2 years ago. Well, there's only a handful of players still here from that team that drove Calgary to a 7th game. 8 of them, 4, that have been playing regularly. And Bozak, who is one of them, is not in the lineup tonight. So really, they're not looking at the same Vancouver team, are they? As Curvers moves the puck in toward Ronning. With Ronning, takes the turn on Waters, who hooked him. Ronning shot one wide, and now play is called. Thomas Sandstrom is going to get the gate.
He got away with a couple of muggings, Jigs. That time, Dan Marawelli caught him.
Waters had turned his man around. I thought that Marawelli had spotted him, but instead of it, Sandstrom. And this penalty call at 17:35 of the opening period.
There's Curvers, Sandstrom on him. You see the glove in the face. He loves to intimidate. Curvers got a penalty as well for wham right there. He hit him with a stick on the back of the legs. So they both go to the penalty box.
Still 5 against 5. Including the goalkeepers. Nice tie that Pat Quinn is wearing tonight. His youngest daughter presented him with that. Don't know that it's one of his favorites.
It's one of the must situations when somebody in the immediate family gives you a tie.
But Marty McSorley.
They love him here, don't they?
Oh, yeah. Do they ever? And, of course, there are a lot of signs with respect to Wayne Gretzky. Well, lack of respect, I suppose. He's always had a reputation in Vancouver as being a whiner. And they spell it many different ways in the banners. McSorley dropped the puck back, and Robinson brings it to center ice, pulled it away from Courtnall. Trying to get away from Ronning, does. Gets checked, picks it up, lets the shot go, and it was over the crossbar. Lume for the Canucks. Sends Courtnall down the left side. Oh, McSorley got in front of him. Down goes Courtnall. Play continues.
That was just getting out of the way by Courtnall. McSorley had him lined up pretty good, but he avoided the body part, got his feet tangled up.
In 4 seconds, the teams will be at 6 aside. Over the line is Linden to Lidster. Back to Linden, but behind him, Courtnall open on right wing, takes it here. Well, Courtnall trying to move it to the blue line. Lume gets bumped. Blake pushing at him. Ronning in the corner, trying to move it away from Waters. Does. He has Courtnall there with him. Courtnall with it now. Centering pass picked off by Gretzky. He's given it to Dave Taylor. Taylor over the line with Robitaille. The pass back toward Gretzky. Centered one, picked off by Courtnall. Has Linden and Ronning moving up, but can't make the pass. Duchesne can't make the play happen either, bringing it back into the Vancouver zone. Offside.
Frustrating hockey game so far for the Los Angeles Kings. Some of that frustration provided by the star here. I guess one of the stars now, Trevor Linden. He has teamed up so well in the playoffs so far with just 3 assists, but his line mates he has been setting up. He's a +3 in his defensive rating. Carries a lot of responsibility, not only as a playmaker and a puck handler, but boy, does he like to get in and mix it up in the corners. He leads the forechecking so many times for Vancouver.
Now he gets a rest as Nedved moves in. LAK on the drop. Played it through the skates of Taylor, and it comes back toward McSorley. Marty McSorley shot it around the glass. And that's an icing call. McSorley was on his own side of center ice when he shot the puck in. So the clock is stopped with 1 minute and 2 seconds remaining. Linden and Lidster. You're looking at Dougie Lidster, the co-captains of the Vancouver Canucks.
I never think of Doug Lidster as being 30 years of age, but that's what he is now. Had 4 power play goals during the regular season, and what an anchor. Had a lot of problems early on in the season, midway through the season, but not only got a new contract, but got all of his stuff settled between he and some of the management, not necessarily the president and general manager, Pat Quinn.
Now, he had a little problem with Brian Burke, didn't he?
Yeah, he wasn't the only one.
Now Steve Casper with the responsibility of winning the face-off from Peter Nedved. 62 seconds remaining in a scoreless first period at Vancouver. Linesman Gerard Gauthier was ready to drop the puck. Referee Marawelli spotted some people inside the face-off circle, came over and backed them up. And with play underway, Nedved put one out in front. It jumped over the stick of Gomesso. Kings come to center as LAK has dropped it to McSorley. Right side to Taylor, trying to move in on Dirk. Dave Taylor, tightly checked, puts it back of the net, and Capuano is there. Around the boards, trying to find Nedved. He's cleared it through center ice. Larry Robinson works it across to McSorley, looks up at the clock, then gives it to Robinson. Robinson carries the puck to center ice, pulled it away from Nedved. There's going to be a penalty. A holding penalty spotted by referee Marawelli in the final minute of the first period. McSorley ends up in a deep conversation after some earlier pawing and pushing.
I would have to think, Jake, that it's going to go to the Los Angeles Kings. They were in control of the puck when the whistle was blown by referee Dan Marawelli. Robitaille is going into the box.
McSorley and Dirk had exchanged a lot of words. Marty is circling around here, trying to get a reading from referee Marawelli. Well, the crowd has settled down a little bit. The tempo of the game has slowed somewhat too.
Tom Webster, he was nervous. I talked to him a couple of times as he walked up and down after the teams had gone off the ice after the warm-up. Take a look and see if we can spot the penalty. Yeah, there it is. He's got a hold. Robitaille has a hold of the Vancouver player's stick. That gets him 2 minutes in the slammer. Not a good penalty for Robitaille to take at any time, particularly when you think about the way things have been going for Los Angeles. And he takes that penalty in the center ice area.
The referee talking to the Vancouver co-captain Robinson, an alternate captain with the Kings. McSorley and Dirk are also being penalized. Unsportsmanlike conduct to those two. All we have on the score sheet for the first period, a long list of penalties. A lot of holding, some elbowing, now some more unsportsmanlike conduct between McSorley and Dirk.
During the regular season, only the Chicago Blackhawks with 30.2, they averaged 30.2 penalty minutes per game, outdid the Los Angeles Kings. They were 27.8. A lot of penalty minutes. Yes. Thinking on the other side, in 17th place, not far behind, were the Vancouver Canucks. They were 25.8 penalty minutes per game.
There are 29 seconds remaining in this period. LA is a man short, and the penalty has just gone up on the board. Lidster to Lume and right back to Lidster. Now to Linden. The Canucks are checked at center, and Casper has put it in the Vancouver zone. 15 seconds left in the period. Here's Ronning across the line, through some traffic, jabs it to Lume, back to Ronning, shoots one, Rudy the stop. The rebound, bottom wide. Courtnall couldn't knock it out of the air. Lidster unloads, and that's deflected wide as Robinson gets to it. The horn sounds. Rudy tested once more, but after the horn, territorial aim certainly to Vancouver.
Wow, what a period. Kelly Rudy very busy. He didn't let anything get by him, but when you think of it, Adams, Volk, Ronning, Linden, all with outstanding scoring opportunities. This one coming at the end of the period. Lume to Ronning. His shot deflected and stopped by Kelly Rudy. Watch Courtnall as he tries to pick it out of the air and missed.
There is no score. We're at the end of the first period as we pause now for a regional break. You're watching Sports Channel America's coverage of the Stanley Cup playoffs. We're at the end of the first period in Vancouver, British Columbia. No score between the Canucks and the Los Angeles Kings. And I'm joined now by the owner of the Los Angeles Kings, Mr. Bruce McNall. Congratulations first. Got to be a good feeling to come into a series finally as the favorite rather than the underdog, huh?
Well, it's certainly a different feeling. I'm not sure we're adapting to it as well as one might like, but it's certainly a great feeling to have won the Smythe Division Championship. At least finally we've won something, which is important, I think, to hockey fans in Los Angeles.
And all of a sudden you find yourselves in a series. Nothing here at the end of the first. Great game at the Forum on Saturday. Great game in the opener, too.
Oh, it's been a great series. Vancouver's playing just great hockey, I think, and making it very exciting for everybody concerned. I knew we were in for a tough one, and they certainly have given it to us so far. And I think it's going to be a very good series for both teams.
You know the name Bruce McNall because of some news made recently. The purchase of an old baseball card, the Honus Wagner card. Have you made any news today? Bought anything today, Bruce?
No, I'm trying to get Eddie Westfall's card, but it's too expensive. Other than that, that's about it so far. I'm trying to get the Rocket for Canada, and that's about the only thing I'm working on right now.
I was just going to ask about that. Is the Canadian Football League going to have that star out of Notre Dame?
Well, we're working on it pretty hard. He's going to be going up to Toronto on Wednesday and Thursday and taking a look at the facilities and talking to some of our folks up there, and I'm fairly hopeful that we have a good chance of signing him.
What an ownership combination. Thanks for the visit, Bruce. The Kings and Vancouver are scoreless. We're at the end of the first period, and we are sitting in on some fine Stanley Cup playoff action. We'll return to the Pacific Coliseum in Vancouver, British Columbia, following these messages. From the face-off to open the second period here at Vancouver, Los Angeles shorthanded. The Canucks handling the puck. I'm Jiggs McDonald with Ed Westfall. There is no score. Trevor Linden, Cliff Ronning, and Jeff Courtnall out on the power play for Vancouver as the puck comes back toward Lume. He gets checked. Chasing it back is Linden. Linden gives it to Curvers. Donnelly had moved in to forecheck. Now Casper gets a rest. McIntyre comes off the bench for Los Angeles. Quick pass up the middle is across 2 lines and offside.
I would have to think in the second period, starting out, Jiggs, that the teams will settle down, maybe get into playing a little more hockey, take fewer penalties. It's not in either one of their interests, and Larry Robinson, he realizes that. Played in over 200 playoff games.
Nobody has played more. The league's oldest player. And I have the feeling he's going to be back for another campaign.
Actually, through the first couple of hockey games, he has not been outclassed by any of his teammates as far as defensemen are concerned, offensively and defensively.
Canucks on the face-off in their own zone. Start out now. Linden to Lume. Courtnall on the left side takes the pass, fires it around Blake off the glass. Comes back toward Cliff Ronning at the top of the circle.
Take a look at Cliff Ronning grabbing the puck. Watch Courtnall. He wasn't pushed in the crease. There he is standing there. The puck is in. The goal is going to count. There's some question about it right now. They're talking. But watch Cliff Ronning. He blasts the top right-hand corner. Rob Blake, apparently, according to the referee, nudged Courtnall, put him in the crease. It's a 1-0 lead. 41 seconds. Another look at Cliff Ronning.
And yes, I agree. If you're a Canuck fan, you've got to look back to the deal and say thank you, thank you, thank you. Ronning third in this series against Los Angeles. The home team is on top, 1-0. The only assist credited to Courtnall. And now 9 goals for the Canucks in the playoffs. And players acquired in the deal have been in on every one of them. Teams are at 6 aside. Gretzky is on the ice with Granato and Sandstrom for the Kings. Igor Larionov with Mazur and Adams for Vancouver. Larionov for the long pass. Mazur plays it around the boards. Chasing it is Adams. Again, Vancouver quick to get to the puck. Beating the Kings to it in their own zone. Larionov for the pass intended for Adams. That's broken up and brought back by Granato. He gave it to Gretzky. Back to Granato. It's swept off his stick. Sandstrom goes after it. Unable to center in front. And a man taken down, results in a cross-checking penalty. Granato hit the deck, and Curvers will hit the penalty box. Vancouver will be shorthanded.
Now how am I going to get there? It'll be great to see the guys again. I wonder if they'll all show. I just gotta get there.
I'm trying to make my way back to the Brackendale River.
Friends deserve the best.
This is great. They all showed up.
The crisp, clean taste of Canada's best beer, Labatt's Blue.
What took you so long?
I had a little car trouble.
Between friends, it's true blue. Labatt's Blue.
Tom, take another look at the goal. There's Courtnall. It was over the catching mitt of Kelly Rudy. It was in the top right-hand corner. Here, watch to the left of McLean, the goaltender. That's Tony Granato in the dark uniform. Curvers pushed him once, then he gave it to him again. Down went Granato. Off goes Tom Curvers.
This will be the third power play for Los Angeles. It'll unfold once they get some debris off the ice. Just at the top of the circle to the right of the Vancouver goal. During the first period, the Gretzky line, Gretzky, Sandstrom, and Granato, who just went out there and drew the penalty, had but one shot on goal combined. The line of Bronning, Linden, and Courtnall had 4 shots on goal. They haven't been head-to-head here yet. And now Los Angeles, Tommy Webster behind the bench again tonight after serving that 4-game suspension. The suspension is the result of a punch thrown at Doug Gilmour of the Calgary Flames.
A lot of stuff on the ice, Jigs. That's what holding everything up. You saw the linesmen, both of them, and the referee picking up a lot of debris. Now down at Kelly Rudy's end of the ice.
And some more debris is coming out of the stands. One more look at Bronning's shot. Look at the way the stick came way back on that drive.
That's because he had a lot of time, Jigs, and he had time to look and pick. And I can't believe that Courtnall, they said, I guess, that Blake pushed him in there. It appeared as though Courtnall had skated in and then made contact with Blake after he was in the goal crease.
Now another assist has been credited on that goal. Lume will receive an assist along with Courtnall. Los Angeles on their third power play opportunity. But they'll start it from deep in the zone as Diddick dumped them in. And Larry Arnoff feeds it back toward Diddick. Gerald Diddick again. Long shot toward Rudy is turned aside. Trying to use the surprise element. And here's Blake. Blake over center ice, decides to dump it in around Lume. Backboard is Diddick, hard around the boards. Gretzky got it to the line, but outside the zone now. Here's Benning, crowded by Mazur as he gave it to Blake. Larry Arnoff moves up on him, and Larry Arnoff has the puck. It's jabbed away on that cross-ice pass, and back goes Diddick. The Kings back on their heels again. Blake with it. Over center ice, across the Vancouver line. Played it in around Trevor Linden. Then he runs into Lume. Sandstrom puts it back in the net, and there's Gretzky. Mazur right on him. It does get back to Benning, however. In toward Gretzky, trying to center one. That's tipped and cleared out of the zone by Jyrki Lume.
At even strength or short-handed, Vancouver very quickly getting to Wayne Gretzky. He has been mispassing it, mishandling it, giving him no room at all.
Lidster was on him this time as he tried to move it out of the zone. Kings owner Bruce McNall visiting with us on the first intermission. I mentioned the ownership combination of his Canadian Football League team in Toronto. It includes Wayne Gretzky and, of course, comedian John Candy. Some combination. Learned after the visit, too, that the last time the Kings were here in Vancouver on St. Patrick's Day, Craig Stadler, the golfer, of course, was with Bruce McNall. They went to a card show and bought a set of baseball cards for $49,000. Bruce didn't have quite enough cash with him.
Oh, Stadler would.
Oh, he bailed him out, yeah. 49. They're in the limo, apparently, on the way to the game, and spotted a card show going on. Stopped and bought a set of baseball cards.
Boy, boys and their toys, huh? Just having a good time. Let's pick these up.
More debris being picked up with 42 seconds left on the power play. Tom Webster is back, and we got some comments on his return.
Well, I'm very excited about coming back and doing a job that I've been paid to do. With my two coaches in Rick Wilson and Cap Rado, I really felt that I haven't left. They've done an outstanding job. The hockey club, I really feel, has responded to them. But now it's time for me to get back to do the things that I feel that I have to try and help this hockey club get by Vancouver.
Now they get set up here on this power play. Duchesne's shot was deflected. Taylor with it. Puts it back in the net. Alec unable to give it back to him. Look at the way Dirk has tied it up on the boards, chewing up precious seconds on the Los Angeles power play. And now Linden shoots it out of the zone. Rudy comes out to play it. He did get it to the line, but quickly Linden is in after it. Teams are at 6 aside again. One shot on goal with the power play, the third power play in the game. Los Angeles trails. The Canucks on a goal by Ronning lead 1-0. It's early in the second period at Vancouver. Duchesne puts the puck back in the net. He'll let the veteran handle it. Harry Robinson. Nedved is parked out in front. It's Capuano coming off the left wing boards now as the pass went to that direction. And Robitaille can't tip it around Lumet. This is Peter Nedved. He's over the line. Duchesne takes him to the boards, and the shot is handled by Rudy as Capuano got it away. Robinson wraps it around to the far side of the ice. Robitaille is there. Back now to Robinson. His effort to get it to Dave Taylor goes out of play, and the clock is stopped with 16 minutes remaining in the second period.
Each year, the experts at Car and Driver look at over 100 cars, so you don't have to. From the current new cars, they just picked their 10 best. At the most, you'll probably only buy one of them. That's too bad, because 2 of the 10 best are Mercury's. Mercury Sable and Mercury Tracer LTS. All this in the quality of a Mercury.
A Monday night in Vancouver, Sports Channel America bringing you Stanley Cup playoff action between the Los Angeles Kings and the Vancouver Canucks. Happy to be here and glad you were able to join us. I'm Jakes McDonald with Ed Westfall. The Canucks are up 1-0. The Kings trying to come out of their zone. Padelski gets forechecked and the fans come off the edges of their seats. Now it's played around the boards and a fight breaks out. Marty McSorley has a hold of Ojek.
Well, the fans are loving it. Probably just frustrating for the players. They haven't been able to land any punches yet. McSorley trying to get his right hand loose. Ojek is trying to do the same thing.
That chant, you can hear it. Gino, Gino. He's a folk hero here now, folks.
Interesting that McSorley would go to the midsection with some of the punches. That's a tiring way to fight.
With the score, the Vancouver Canucks 1, the Los Angeles Kings 0. Let's pause now for a regional break. You're watching Sports Channel America's exclusive Stanley Cup coverage.
If you're concerned about getting rid of weeds this way, try a better way. I'm Jim Martindale, here to introduce you to the Weed Popper. Place the weed popper next to a weed, step down, and the weed pops right out. The weed popper pulls weeds without kneeling, bending, and without chemicals that may be dangerous to our groundwater supply. The weed popper, with its 100% lifetime guarantee, pops weeds out as easy as 1, 2, 3.
The Weed Popper is available at Kmart, Lumberjack, participating our own and coast-to-coast hardware stores. Makes a great gift for friends who garden.
At Northlands Coliseum in the third period, Craig Simpson with a pass to Glenn Anderson. He comes in, he beats Mike Vernon, tying the game at 3 1/3. Let's go back to Vancouver.
All right, CJ, back here. We've just had a major league scrap. Marty McSorley and Gino Ojik.
The Battle of Alberta is going on, but here, a battle between Gino Ojik and Marty McSorley. I'll tell you, they're glad they're in the penalty box right now. They can get a good rest. They're going to have it for 5 minutes of playing time.
The Cliff Ronning line is out for Vancouver. Ronning has vacated the face-off circle to go back and talk to Courtnall. Now he steps in. Casper on the draw, won it, and gives the puck to Granato. Up to Gretzky, back to Granato, and he's tightly checked at the blue line. This is Lidster, long pass off the stick of Linden. Kelly Rudy slows it up for Benning. Benning hoists one off the boards, out through center, on into the Canuck territory. There'll be no icing call, so Kirk McLean plays the puck. Dirk here on the left side, failed to get to it. Gretzky started off the boards before the puck got to him. The crowd reacts to that. But the Canucks have it and break the zone. Ronning to Courtnall. Right back toward Ronning, the play offside at the Los Angeles blue line.
After every whistle now, a little jostling, pushing, shoving, confrontation. Boy, they have been all over Wayne Gretzky, and it's not just one player. They've got a lot of different players. Every time he looks up, somebody is there. They've got a stick out. They've got an arm across his arms. They've got a stick between his legs. I don't remember in this game so far Gretzky being able to grab the puck and do what he does best, and that's gear up the offense of Los Angeles.
There are some Kings fans here, aren't there? And now look at the Kings bench. It's assistant Rick Wilson. Cap Raider back in the press box tonight with a walkie-talkie, the headset working back and forth. Tom Webster was talking with Granato and Gretzky when they came off the ice. And Pat Quinn has Nedved out there with Momesso and Capuano. McIntyre, Miller, and Tonelli, the forward line for Los Angeles. Robinson with the puck. Steps over center. Steps over the Vancouver line. Lets McIntyre drive to the net. Flipped it on goal, and McLean covers it. Some more pushing after the whistle. Miller and Momesso. The net comes off. The two linesmen with Miller falling, and now everybody comes in.
Merson. Look at the headlock he's got on John McIntyre, and vice versa, I guess.
John McIntyre continues with Dana Merson. You know, Ed, when this game tonight began, this was the least penalized series of any of them.
McIntyre is mad at the linesman.
Each year, the experts at Car and Driver look at over 100 cars, so you don't have to. From the current new cars, they just picked their 10 best. At the most, you'll probably only buy one of them. That's too bad, because 2 of the 10 best are Mercury's. Mercury Sable and Mercury Tracer LTS. All this in the quality of a Mercury.
We have played only 5 minutes and 6 seconds of the second period. We've had a couple of fights, but we've had the only goal of the game as well when Ronning scored 41 seconds into the period.
Well, they got Momesso in there. That's Merson as he stands up, number 5. McIntyre will be in for Los Angeles. I would have to think Miller, he was the one that started things rolling. He wanted to push and shove in front of the net. What seemed to be a play that was dead started up when Miller charged into the goal crease.
That's Dana Merson standing, talking to Jay Miller from long range. Some people get a rest at the Los Angeles bench as the officials sort out the penalties at 5:06 of the second period.
Going to be a long night for the officials. You see Dan Maroelli. Behind him, you see what's going on. He finally turns around. McIntyre is firing away at Merzen.
Well, there'll be a lot of penalty minutes handed out here, and the linesman consulted with the referee on the calls. You look at John Bryan Patrick Quinn, attorney, and also a former coach in Los Angeles, and we talked to him prior to the game about the experiences of coaching in California.
Well, it was a real enjoyable time. It was a time of transition. I had the opportunity of coaching Marcel Dion, Dave Taylor, two great players, and a bunch of others. It started to catch a little fire, and of course Gretzky seemed to be the difference now. This town is alive, and I think it's one of the great things that's happened to our game.
Finally, well, the penalties, Momesso and Merzen each get 2 minutes for roughing. Miller of Los Angeles, he gets 2 for roughing. McIntyre for Los Angeles gets 4 minutes for roughing.
So out of it, Vancouver gets a power play. The double penalty to McIntyre results in a Canuck extra man situation. Tom Webster gets his penalty killers out there, Casper and Donnelly. Duchesne on the ice as well. So is Robinson. Do I need to tell you that it's Ronning, Courtnall, and Linden for Vancouver? Curvers and Lume on defense. Now Webster has a chance to talk to the referee. And Maroelli, to his credit, explaining the calls. Now skates away. Dave Taylor will have to go across ice and be seated in the penalty box. LA had to have another man in there so that if Vancouver were to score or the time run out in the penalty, they'd have somebody to release. McIntyre with 4 minutes. It's more company, and LA ends up shooting the puck the length of the ice. It's 1-0 Vancouver. Lume parks back of the net. Lets Ronning turn and move up the right side before giving him the puck. With Ronning. Now on the left side, dumps it between the LA defense. Robinson back. Around the boards to Casper. Can't pass it by Curvers. Now he gets a backhand shot away. And that arrives deep in the Vancouver zone and handled by Kirk McLean. LA changing their penalty killers. Granato and Gretzky now up front. Waters and Blake on defense. Here's Curvers. One touching it toward Courtnall. He got Blake turned around. Shoots one off Rudy's. Got it now.
Good shot by Jeff Courtnall. That looked so much like the shot he scored on to tie the game in Game 1. He moved to the inside with a bit of a fake as he dropped his shoulder. Then he kept going outside and let it go quickly. Kelly Rudy has to remember that one, although he was a little closer to the boards, allowing Rudy a little more time to see it. Again, Kelly Rudy seemed to be so far back into the net. The fans responding to the fan meter here as they've broken the
They put it right off the scale, didn't they?
The champagne glass shattered.
Wow. Ronning lines up for a face-off against Steve Casper. Every man inside the zone. Ronning won the draw from Casper. This is Lume into Linden. Centered one, but Casper had that well read. Shoots it down the ice. Bounced it wide of Kirk McLean. Curvers with it here, and again Ronning turns, goes up right wing. The pass this time is to Courtnall on the left side. Courtnall laid it around Blake, has it again to the backhand. The pass to Curvers. Curvers, big shot. Through, but comes right back. Lume sets him up. Curvers shoots. Rudy the save. Ronning reached for the rebound and tapped it wide of the net. And then a collision knocks the goal off. Rudy is down on his left side. Ronning is in the goal mouth. Waters standing there. And they'll put the net back in place and continue the game.
What Ronning wanted was a penalty for Rob Blake. He went off the goalpost. He touched him, Blake did, but not that severely. Take a look here. There's Ronning on the far side, number 7 as he stands. He moves over trying to get in front of Kelly Rudy. There's the shot. He tried to control the rebound, then he gets pushed. You can see there as he takes a kind of a dive backwards and twisting. Give him maybe a 4.5 on a scale of 10. Here's some of the shots, curvers. They were blocked out front. Lume back to Curvers. Had to take it off his skate. He may have had a more dangerous shot had he been able to take it off the stick, but Ronning with his backhand goes nowhere.
41 seconds remaining in the double penalty. McIntyre sitting it out. Vancouver with the extra man. Nedved on the ice. Put the puck around Casper on the draw, but Duchesne is able to bank it off the boards. Held in by Curvers to Capuano. Back in the net for it is Robinson. He got double teamed. The Kings can't clear it out. Curvers plays it in deeper. Chasing it is Adams. Duchesne stepped in front of him, and the Kings are able to clear the zone. Vancouver dropping back. Lume. Nice turn on Casper. Lume's pass was behind Nedved, however. Picked up by Jack Capuano. He's driving toward the net, only to be turned back by Larry Robinson. Casper, Duchesne, and Robinson along with Donnelly, and that's Donnelly shooting it down the ice, and that kills off the penalty. Dave Taylor steps out of the box. There were 2 shots on goal for the Canucks with the man advantage, 19-8. Vancouver out shooting LA. 1-0 on a power play goal by Cliff Ronning. Canucks in front. Here's Rob Blake leading the rush. The pass towards Sandstrom. He was bumped by Dirk. That allows Lidster to play it. Lidster up the middle. The pass no good. Tony Granato has tipped it to Sandstrom. He has Gretzky moving in. Here's Granato, a backhander turned aside by McLean. Sandstrom turns on the boards. Checked by Larry Arnott. Now Gretzky gets to it to Sandstrom. Can't get a shot away. Granato can't pick up a loose puck. Dirk knocks him down. Vancouver will be shorthanded. A tripping penalty coming against the Canucks. Vancouver leads 1-0.
My feet are so sweaty and smelly.
Here's why. Your feet have more sweat glands than any other part of your body. They need super drying Odor Eaters foot powder. Look, you'd need 25 cans of talc to match the drying strength of just 1 Odor Eaters powder. It can absorb 25 times more wetness.
Wow, it even keeps my feet dry. And no more smell.
Odor Eaters foot powder from the makers of Odor Eaters insoles with the world's most powerful odor destroyer.
Dirk is in the penalty box. He is really mad. I don't blame him. I suppose I'm not supposed to take sides, but I will in this case. That play was almost called before the dive was completed. You see the arm of the referee in the air. There's Wayne Gretzky trying to find some breathing room. He found a little bit, not a whole lot, as Lidster goes leg for leg. Takes him off balance. Gretzky down, looking, tries to knock the feet out from under Lidster. Tries to tap the puck towards the net, but Wayne Gretzky, again with close coverage, I point out, not always by the same person. It can be a defenseman, a winger, a centerman.
LA with the man advantage here. Their 4th power play chance. And nothing to show, obviously, for the first 3. Gretzky on the draw. They can't get it back to the defense. Up with it, Igor Larionov. The Soviet player has given it to Mazur through a crowd, and the shot steered aside by Rudy. Larionov in after it. Plays it around to the far side. Mazur gets it there. Shoots from a sharp angle and missed the net. It bounces outside the line. Lume has it for Vancouver. Sandstrom put the lumber on him. Lume dumps the puck in. 1.5 minutes remaining now in the penalty to Dirk. Benning through the middle. Long shot off the boards. Hard around, as they say in the game now. Back to Benning. Benning to Duchesne. Duchesne high slot, and the shot is blocked by Linden. Gretzky after it. Tried to center one. Tonelli drops it back. Steve Duchesne sets up Benning. Moves right in, and the shot is blocked as McLean is way out. Just now getting back into the goal mouth is Gretzky from back of the net. Can't make the pass. Benning does get it out. The drive, blocked in front and cleared to the line. Duchesne brought it outside. Play called and an offside.
Well, more than 16,000 people were calling that offside as the Los Angeles Kings come as close as they've been able to so far in the hockey game. He had to make a move here, and he moves away out of the net. What a committal, excuse me, by the goaltender. Watch McLean as the play goes to his right. He shuffles across. There he goes. Once he's out that far, he's got to stay out there. He makes the save. Look at Vancouver cover up. What a job Lume's been doing in this hockey game so far. Even strength. There's a high shot. McLean took off his left shoulder.
But still nothing on the board for the Los Angeles Kings. They couldn't solve the puzzle until overtime. On Saturday, that puzzle was a guy named Troy Gamble. Tonight, the goaltender named Kirk McLean has kept Los Angeles at bay. Benning slaps it around the boards. Gretzky over on the far side. It's offside. Nobody had touched it.
Let that shot go before he got to the red line. There's so many things in hockey now that remind me of that automatic tag at second base when you're watching the ball game. The shortstop or the second baseman isn't close with the timing, but it's out anyway. Sometimes in hockey, the players get away with that kind of a shot on the power play as being not icing. They're calling it here.
Kelly Rudy had shut out Vancouver for 71 minutes prior to the goal by Ronnie. Wayne Gretzky had the game winner in overtime Saturday night. He's out there on this power play, joined by Robitaille and Ellick. Rushing with the puck is Benning, going through the defense, but it's offside.
Todd Ellick on the left side did not hesitate. Benning coming up the ice, trying to gain the blue line, get control of the puck in the offensive zone, get the power play geared up and going. Another offside. Back-checking, they used to call that for the other team.
Benning back at the bench. So is McIntyre. The 4 minutes has expired on his double penalty. Still 27 seconds left in Dirk's tripping penalty. The puck up in the air, drops into the skates of Duchesne. He's given it to Luc Robitaille. Left side to Ellick. Back to the point, Robinson, cross ice. This is Gretzky in the middle. Duchesne, the shot blocked by Litzner. Ariana gets to center ice. Mazer up to join him. The long pass goes to Merzen, and the Kings are forced back. That will kill off the penalty against Dirk. 1-0, Vancouver leading. LA had 2 shots with that man advantage. The power play has failed on 4 opportunities tonight. And the Kings just turned the puck over. Here's Courtnall. One-on-one with Duchesne. He tries to get him turned. Now centers. Dirk. Tipped it right to Rudy. Nice heads-up play by both Courtnall and Dirk. And a fine save by the veteran goaltender, Kelly Rudy. It's still the Canucks 1, the Kings nothing.
What is refreshing? It's the taste. The taste that could only come from a cold blue light right out of the ice. Now that's refreshing.
Here it's 1-0, and at Edmonton it's 3-3. Less than a minute to play in the third period in that game between the Flames and the Oilers. C.J. Papa will keep us posted. We're at the Northlands Coliseum. That series tied at a game each, as you see. Same story here, but the home team has the lead. And the white-clad Vancouver Canucks are forced back into their own zone, where Kerber steps in front of Donnelly, makes the pass to Linden. Rudy out of the net, exchanges to McSorley, now up the right wing boards, but away from Kudelski, and Merzen shoots one high and wide. That's Tim Waters on the LA defense, giving it to Luc Robitaille, or to Donnelly rather. Over the line with it here is Casper, sets up Donnelly, and he trickled it wide. He was covered closely by Curvers. Off the boards comes Ronning. Ronning trying to get it to Linden. It doesn't work. Kudelski turns it back into the Vancouver zone. Kirk McLean, long pass. Courtnall, one touched it toward Linden. 4 black shirts got back. Now Curvers dumps it down the boards. Chasing it is Blake. He's in a race with Courtnall. Well, the whistle sounded. Courtnall disagrees.
It was a two-line pass, if I got the signal, by Gerard Gauthier, the linesman. Pass from inside the blue line of Vancouver. Courtnall was standing almost at the blue line of the Los Angeles Kings.
Courtnall coming back to the Vancouver bench. The Canucks making a change. The Kings have Gretzky out now with Courtnall, or excuse me, with Sandstrom and Granato. Courtnall will be replaced here as Larry Arnoff, Adams, and Mazur come out as the Vancouver forward unit. We have 9 minutes remaining in the second period. Gretzky against Larry Arnoff. Kings win the draw. Benning over to Blake. Shot it in. McLean moving back of the net, didn't make an exchange. He waved at it. The puck bounced away. Granato trying to center to Sandstrom, and he's checked lightly by Larry Arnoff. Now Granato with a shot that's blocked. Blake recovers at center ice. Put it back inside the Canucks zone. Lidster chased by Sandstrom. Wayne Gretzky waits back in the net. The puck jumped away from him. Dirk shot it off the glass. Blake ties up the man, but Larry Arnoff is there to clear the zone, and here's Thomas Sandstrom winding up. Sandstrom to the left side to Benning, and around the boards it goes. And off the boards toward Lidster, and right on him is Sandstrom. Blake and Gretzky go to the corner together. So does Sandstrom, but Vancouver comes up with the puck. Larry Arnoff over center, 2-on-2. Renato chased him. Here's Mazur, pulls up, shoots, that's wide of the net. Benning parks back of the goal. Starts out here. Gretzky goes to the right wing. The pass well up ahead. Sandstrom had Lume back. LA in the middle of a change. Lume spotting that. Goes down the right side. Heads up play by Lume.
Boy, he has skated and handled the puck so well, Jake.
The puck came right out in front. Recovered by the LA defenseman Benning. 7.5 minutes to go in the second period. Benning steps over center and shoots it in. Kirk McLean guides it toward the corner. Selleck after it. Lume is right there as well. They left it for Larry Arnoff. The Canucks having a little trouble getting out. Now they break the zone, but Nomesso is checked tightly, and Todd Ellick takes the puck and shoots it in. Lume trying to come up the right side. Checked by Taylor. The pass comes back toward Duchesne. Can't get through traffic. Does! McLean beats him! Unbelievable stop by Kirk McLean. It's still 1-0 Vancouver.
No, I just want to look at cars. Hey, did you know that the Mazda MPV made Car and Driver's 10 Best list? Oh, yeah? Second straight year. It's got a V6 engine. Great new luxury package, special paint, special wheels, power, everything. Look at all this leather. See? Look at all the space. It's got room for all our kids.
Oh, now I see. Well, I could just quit my job and show for the kids.
Yeah.
The Mazda MPV Luxury Edition.
It just feels right. Get out of my car.
At Northland's Coliseum, time winding down in regulation. Craig Simpson finds Joe Murphy. He beats Mike Vernon with 14 seconds left. The game winner. 4-3 Edmonton wins. They lead the series 2-1.
Well, well, well. CJ, I think we're surprised here in Vancouver as fans around the league.
Well, I'll tell you something. It wasn't surprising in one way, but surprising in another. How many times can a goaltender make sensational saves? Kirk McLean has made his first one in this hockey game. What a beautiful shot by Duchesne. What a great glove save by Kirk McLean.
And here it is still 1-0 for the Vancouver Canucks, and they start out of the zone. Dave Capuano gets them to the blue line, cutting to right wing. Momesso had stepped ahead of him, and that puts the play offside. Well, as I said earlier, each and every series will be 2-1 at the end of tonight's play.
Take another look at the save by Kirk McLean. 24-year-older, the Ontario native. Watch his catching hand, his left hand. There's the quick shot. His balance was just right. That allowed him to reach that far out, just over his left pad, and haul it in.
Shots on goal in this period. The Canucks have had 6. The Kings have had 5. But Vancouver had a 2-1 shooting edge in the first period, 14-7, and there was no score at the end of 1. There was a goal before the first minute had ticked off at the beginning of the second period, and that's all we've had. Merzen gets checked tightly. The puck back toward McSorley. Bounced one wide. There's Tom Kerber. Miller bumped him. It's centered out in front, but cleared aside by Merzen, and up comes Bomesso. He and Capuano crisscross. Long shot dropped right into Rudy's pads. Jay Miller for the Kings. Moves it on ahead. John Tonelli checked tightly by Dirk. The two of them go to the deck. Bomesso flips the puck off the boards. And now around Waters. Blake crosses over. Nedved was there, couldn't recover, and the Kings able to move it up to John Tonelli. The pass is to Blake, but the play called back on an offside.
Two-line offside. Close call. Gerard Gauthier again. Just inside his own blue line. The Los Angeles Kings trying to cheat a little, trying to gain the puck on two lines to John Tonelli.
And Marawelli indicating that the benches have made the last change. Pat Quinn sending out Murphy and Volk. And Gino Ojek. He didn't really want to fire Bob McCammon, but he felt that he had to do the deed. He had to get some life into the team. He wasn't happy with things that were going on. They'd come off a big game, albeit a tie. They played better, but he just felt that the timing was such that he had to make the change. That was late in the season, although not as late as in Philadelphia when Quinn was replaced by McCammon several years ago. Benning to Blake around the boards. The Canucks roll it toward Rudy. We've got another fight going on. Rob Blake is involved here.
Well, we know that Gino Ojek is on the ice, but I don't think that's him involved with Rob Blake.
I believe that's Volk.
This goes long enough, we'll have somebody getting arrested for not having enough clothes on. Volk gets his sweater, solve it off. When it gets that far, you want the whole thing off because it does help tie up your arms.
And a look at the bench, and there's Gino. Marty McSorley was looking on from the Los Angeles bench earlier. So Murphy and Ojek are not involved, and number 23, Gary Volk, puts the sweater back on, and the kid out of North Dakota University goes to the penalty box, followed by another university product in Rob Blake.
Players reacting to Blake as if he didn't fight very often. I don't think he does, but you could see Blake. You see how when he went to sit down, his arms were just hanging at his sides. Hockey fights are mostly arm fights. You're grappling for leverage, and you have to use your arms. That's Ojek behind the net. There's Blake. There's Volk. Boom. Blake did sneak in a left on him. He kept that left hand ready to fire, but he had nothing to fire at as Volk had lost his balance.
These penalties called with 5 minutes and 56 seconds to play in the second period. We'll wait and see if there's anything more than the fighting penalties.
Fighting. The time 14:04. Blake and Volk each for fighting at 14:04.
Well, picture says it all, doesn't it?
It's a LA King, too. No wonder he wants to hide behind a mask here in very polite Vancouver. But the hockey team is not being polite to the visitors, the Los Angeles Kings. They're leading them 1-0. Cliff Ronning goal, 41 seconds into the second period, and some great saves at both ends of the ice. Kelly Rudy, and particularly in the first period, off Adams, Volk, Ronning, Linden, McLean, moments ago, off Steve Duchesne.
Rudy, obviously, the busier of the two goaltenders. Tom Webster looking up at the scoreboard. Remember Tom Webster as a player? That's him on the left with the WHA New England Whalers, and Pat Quinn with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Look at the years. Quinn has aged gracefully, hasn't he? So has Tommy, for that matter.
Just saw some of the haircuts we've saw here in Vancouver. We've seen them on team pictures when Pat Quinn played here in 1971-72, just about 5 years after that picture was taken. long hair was in then.
One of the original Vancouver Canucks when they joined the league. Also an original Atlanta Flame when they came into the National Hockey League. As you saw, he was in that Toronto Maple Leaf uniform, and Tommy Webster in the WHA garb, the World Hockey Association. The puck right out to Courtnall for a try. Rudy's got it. Ronning won the face-off, Ed, and they go to him immediately.
There's no chance for him to take a rebound. What a job they did on coverage. They had him locked up as if he was in a straitjacket. That's Casper, who has got him tied up, and I think back to the penalty that Dirk took. Look at the beautiful stop by Kelly Rudy. And look here, as Ronning tries to get loose, I guess it is going to be a penalty. Is it going to be 2? Yes. The signal from the referee, Dan Merrill. Here's from the face-off. The puck is dropped, and it's kicked back. Back to the point, the shot. Now watch as Ronning goes, looks for a rebound. He's grabbed from behind. Ronning's just trying to get loose. Casper has him in a bear hug. Thinking back to that penalty that Robert Dirk took, Jigs, and it seemed that the penalty with Tony Granato was being called before Granato hit the ice.
Yeah, it did, and Pat Quinn is appealing here, saying, what did my guy do?
He just happened to be there. Watch Seven Ronning in the white. Now there he is in front looking for a rebound, and Casper all over him.
Well, maybe Dan Merriwelli saw that left sneak in there.
Whoa, look at that left.
And Tony Granato got left in.
That's on Trevor Linden. A sneak punch. Linden still pleading his case, saying, hey, if I've got to take a punch like that, the least I can do is have the guy get 2 minutes. You give out 5 minutes for guys that don't throw any punches.
Now on the face-off, McIntyre for the Kings, Larionov for Vancouver, and LA has the puck. Robinson got it across. Duchesne moves it out of the zone. Lidster trying to wait for his teammates to get back on side. Gave it to Courtnall. Now cross ice. Larionov with it. Shot one. Stretching save by Rudy. And Robinson steps out of the far corner. His pass is to Wayne Gretzky. Pulls up on Dirk. Makes the feed. That's Granato. Tony Granato trying to drive around Lidster. Put it to the side of the net. Granato ended up in the seat of his pants, and the Canucks have the puck. Out of the zone is Lidster to Linden. Broken up by Robinson. Here's Granato. Gretzky goes to the net. Granato gets slowed up. Sandstrom blows in, and a shot turned aside. Sandstrom centers. It's on the doorstep, and the Canucks able to clear it. Now Granato and Linden go to the boards. Courtnall with the puck. Turns on Gretzky. Recovers and starts out. Crisscrosses, or started to, with Larionov, and then decided better. Larionov across the line. His pass intercepted. Linden was hauled down. Here's a break. Robitaille coming in on goal. Shoots well wide of the net, and it bounces to the line for Duchesne. Into the corner for Gretzky. Now back of the net. It's broken up. Lume tied up with Sandstrom. Robitaille jabbed it loose. Larionov for the Canucks. Up the boards to Courtnall. His effort to go cross ice ends up now on Linden's stick, and he dumps it in. McSorley knocks it out of the air. Sends Todd Ellick over the Vancouver line. Ellick with a pass to Taylor. Can't get around Lume. Ellick picks it up. He can't cut in. Lume has it for the Canucks. Lume's outlet is to Nedved, then up to Capuano. And Capuano turns on McSorley. Backhands one to the open corner. Ellick gets to it. Robitaille in a bit of a collision with Momesso. Now Momesso goes at Ellick, punching him in the face, and Sergio Momesso has taken an awful penalty.
He's going to get another one if he keeps it up, Jiggs. That's not a smart play. Momesso did it in front of the referee. He's upset because of a non-retaliatory measure by one of his teammates in their own end of the ice. Heated Momesso to the box, an opportunity. Los Angeles is starting to take over the hockey game. They've got great transition going now. They're grabbing pucks in front of their own blue line and getting scoring opportunities on McLean.
Sergio Momesso. They'll have to get him calmed down if they're going to keep him in the game. Pat Quinn recognizes that. So does Jack McElhargy.
When you have a young team, that's the problem. The emotions start to run high. Players, there's Momesso with a left hook, a left elbow smash, if you will, up in the top of your screen. Talking about the transition now of the Los Angeles Kings. They're one of the best teams in the league. And here, some turnovers. Standing up in front of the blue line, Sandstrom grabs the puck, races down. Gretzky in front of the net. It was a shot by Sandstrom, a beauty. Good stop by McLean. Then Granato tipped it in front as Sandstrom fed it to him. Some scoring opportunities as the Los Angeles Kings start to find some holes in the Vancouver defenses.
Pat Quinn took a long time before getting his penalty killers out on the ice. Still some bench jockeying going on, and now Mazur comes out with Larry Arnoff, Lidster and Dirk. Los Angeles with Ellick in the middle, Robitaille on the left, Gretzky on the right, McSorley and Benning on defense. Outgoing McSorley as he comes from back of the net. Marty McSorley, long shot off the boards. It bounces around to the far corner for Ellick. Trying to tip it toward Gretzky, but could not. It comes back toward Benning. Now to McSorley. McSorley a drive. That's wide. Benning lets it go. It's tipped and wide of the net. Gretzky in after it. Can't center it. And it's cleared out of the zone and down the ice. Robert Dirk got the Canucks out of trouble. Now Courtnall picks up a forechecking roll. Linden is on the ice as well for Vancouver. He watches Todd Ellick crosses the line. He's given it to Gretzky, to McSorley. McSorley to Ellick, and it's turned aside by McLean. Right out in front. Gretzky a shot. McLean the save, but the whistle had sounded.
A high stick. Not a penalty high stick. Los Angeles on the power play knocked the puck down after Gretzky had shot it. McLean had stopped it. The puck bounced up in the air. Watch as the Los Angeles Kings penetrate Vancouver's end of the ice. There's the shot, the tip, bang. There's the puck up in the air. You can see the sticks. There's the puck again in the air, and the referee is signaling it was batted down with a high stick. There's the shot by Ellick. Robitaille got his stick up in the air. You can see McLean searching for it, but the whistle had blown.
And as a result of the contact, the face-off is taken all the way down into the Los Angeles end of the ice. Here's the high stick. There it was. Robitaille making contact. We have 1 minute, 10 seconds left in Momesso's penalty. Dan Maruelli in charge of tonight's game. Linden wins the face-off. Lume to the backhand. Checked closely by Benning. Now Courtnall trying to get around Gretzky, who's pulled back from the puck. Fans didn't like that. Linden has put the puck deeper in the Los Angeles end of the ice. Duchesne and Benning on the point. Sandstrom, Granato, and Gretzky up front. Benning over center ice, crosses the Vancouver line, centering one off the defenseman Diddick and bounced wide. Sandstrom reaching in, can't make contact with it. It does come back toward Benning, however. To Sandstrom and now deeper to Gretzky. Granato goes to the front of the net. Gretzky gets the puck to Sandstrom and his shot blocked. Again, it was up in the air. This time Sandstrom recovers. Into Gretzky. Out to Granato off the heel of his stick as he went to shoot it, and the Canucks force the Kings out. 20 seconds left in Momesso's penalty.
Lume just popped Sandstrom with a left. Sandstrom holding on to his stick.
Now the Kings, one more rush perhaps. Over the line is Sandstrom after taking Duchesne's pass. He can't get around Merzin. The puck is cleared from the Vancouver end. Duchesne with it. Steve Duchesne had a poke checked away. Robinson after it. Back comes Duchesne. The Canucks have killed off yet another LA power play, and Sandstrom's shot is deflected by Merzin. Out of play. Another scuffle.
Sandstrom and Merzin. Could it be some more frustration on the part of the Los Angeles Kings? Generally, Sandstrom shows very little, if no emotion. Erke Lume, how many times can we talk about all of the good things he's been able to do here? He's cleared players from in front of the net. He's handled the puck. There's Gretzky's play to the front of the net. Good coverage. There's Lume, number 21, as he stands in front. There. Sandstrom give him a bit of a shot. Lume, as he follows him out, bang. He says, take that. He was smart enough to look to see if the referee was watching, and obviously he wasn't.
Look at this note. The series, the power play by the Kings compared to the regular season. The regular season stats, as they say, you can throw out. LA had 10 power play goals on 31 chances during the regular season. Not so here in the playoffs, working at only a 10% efficiency. The tight checking, the close checking of the Vancouver Canucks has been tremendous. 1 minute, 50 seconds remaining in this second period. Some more penalties being assessed.
One of them is a roughing. You could see the motion of the right hand. Dan Maruelli signaling a punch.
This is the kind of series, the matchup. At the end of the season, everybody said, well, it's pretty much a given. It's been anything but. Some players going toward the dressing room, not enough time to serve their penalties left in the period here. You may want to tell your hockey fan friends that if they didn't stay around for tonight's game, they've missed a beaut. And these two teams are back at it again Wednesday night, and we have it for you on Sports Channel America exclusively from the Pacific Coliseum.
I wonder if Pat Quinn, along with Wayne Gretzky, are thinking about what can happen in the third period. A much younger Vancouver team applying a lot of punishment on an older Los Angeles team. Will the caginess, the smarts?
But the kids stayed up late Saturday night. They traveled back to Vancouver on a charter flight. They didn't arrive here till about 4 a.m. What with the time change, that long shot handled by McLean. Only a few practiced yesterday. And the Kings elected to stay in Los Angeles, practice there, and make the trip to Vancouver on their own plane yesterday. There's Ellick with a shot that's wide. Robitaille steps out of the corner. Trying to slip one in front, did. McLean has made the exchange with Lidster. But Lidster gets checked. That's Robitaille centering one. They couldn't get it cleanly to Taylor in time. Robitaille took a man down. McSorley is pumped by Momesso. And back on the puck is Tim Waters. Shot it off the boards. Momesso trying to go back of the net. Dirk ran a nice pick on Ellick, taking him away from the puck carrier. Canucks 1, Kings nothing. Less than a minute to go in the second period. Here's Ellick trying to set up back of the net. Gets some help. A wrap around by Robitaille. And now a shot from Waters blocked. Waters with it again. The LA defenseman puts it in front. McLean down after the save, and the Canucks come up with the puck.
What a nice move by Peter Nedved, Jiggs. He went back to help his defenseman. They were in trouble, and he ended up with the puck.
He has been so impressive, getting bigger and stronger game after game. LA trying to come out of the zone. They played it toward center. Lume dropped back. McSorley comes up with the puck. Shoveled it across. Donnelly has tipped it toward Casper to Donnelly. Deflected it wide, and now the Canucks try to come up the left side. With the pass is Ronning to Linden. Linden with 10 seconds in the period. He has sent Diddick into the zone. Tried to high hurdle over Robinson. It didn't work, and McSorley has cleared the zone. That's going to do it for the second period. And another scuffle. McSorley has belted Courtnall.
He's hurt himself too, Jiggs. He hurt his left knee. McSorley tried to knock Courtnall over. Courtnall ducked under him.
Nardi McSorley, as Ed pointed out, unable to get up just now. There's Peter Demers, the trainer. What a strange turn of events. Just as the horn had sounded, McSorley goes after Courtnall and goes down. Here it is.
The whistle had actually blown. The wind there, you could see Courtnall duck under McSorley, but McSorley's right knee made contact somehow, and he's hurt himself. He's had trouble getting up. He's up now and limping. That'll be a tough break for the Los Angeles Kings. Nobody puts more energy into a hockey game than Marty McSorley at both ends of the ice. His knee in trouble.
Kings down by a goal, going to the dressing room as we pause now for a regional break. You're watching Sports Channel America's exclusive Stanley Cup coverage. We're back at the Pacific Coliseum in Vancouver, where the Canucks lead the Los Angeles Kings 1-0. We're at the end of the second period. The first period was scoreless. The only goal of the game off the stick of Cliff Ronning. 41 seconds into the second period. Assist to Courtnall and Lume down on the power play, while LA had a penalty call late at the first period. Shots on goal, there you see them. LA had 11 in the second period to the Canucks 9, but 23-18 are the totals over 2 periods, and Vancouver leads 1-0. This is the type of hockey game that the Tiger would love to play, and I'm joined by Tiger Williams, who, well, holds a lot of NHL records, but how would you fare in a game like this?
Well, this is a good game. A guy's got to be careful out there. It's very aggressive, and there's a lot of stuff happening. It's a tough game to referee. Morelli's, as far as I'm concerned, doing a good job.
You wore the uniform of both the Los Angeles Kings and the Vancouver Canucks, 2 of the 5 teams you played with. Who were you cheering for in this series?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I live here in Vancouver, and I like Vancouver, but I think L.A., I'm kind of cheering for L.A. in a way, because I think McNulty did something that nobody else in hockey's ever did. He's put his money on the line, and he did a great job. So I think it'd be great for hockey for L.A. to get in the finals, and I don't think the Canucks can go any further past this round. But I'll tell you, somebody should go down to the Kings dressing room and tell them, guess what, guys? The playoffs have started. If they don't get going, they're going to get toasted right here.
Can they get going with the way Vancouver's checking them?
Well, LA's not working hard. LA's not forechecking. They're not taking the man out. They're doing all those little things that nobody likes to see, all the little crap around the net and after the play, and they're complaining to the referee. Watch it in the third period. Every time they fall down or get hit, they've got a comment to say, and that's a sign of a frustrated hockey team.
Tiger, I can't let you go without asking what you're doing 3 years since your retirement. What are you busy at?
Well, besides watching hockey games, I played a lot of hockey this year, Jigs. I probably played, 70, 80 games this year. I played on 2 teams here in town. I don't want to call it old-timers, because there's a lot of guys that are 15 years younger than I am, but it was pretty good hockey, and I really enjoyed that. But I'm in the construction business. I do a radio show here with one of the guys you know, Tony Gallagher, and I'm very busy. I do a lot of banquets across Canada, so it's been very busy.
I really appreciate your time. Good to see you. The league misses you. You entertained a lot of us for many, many years. The score at the end of the period, the Vancouver Canucks leading 1-0. CJ Pop is in our studio. He'll get us up to date with all the scores right after this. Stanley Cup playoff hockey coming to you from the Pacific Coliseum in Vancouver, British Columbia, where the score is 1-0 Vancouver. Only the 1 goal. Let's go back and see it and listen to it one more time. Around Blake off the glass. Comes back toward Cliff Ronning at the top of the circle. Trying to come up the right side. Checked by Taylor. The pass comes back toward Duchesne. Can't get through traffic. Does. McLean beats him. 11 goals in the first game, 5 in the second of the series, only 1 tonight. We're at the end of the second period, getting ready for the third. Canucks up 1-0. Sports Channel America returns to one of Canada's most beautiful cities, Vancouver, British Columbia. That was the Lions Gate Bridge over Burrard Inlet, on through Stanley Park, and then, of course, on our way out to the Pacific Coliseum, where the Canucks have really kept Canuck mania alive tonight, haven't they? They've been in a bit of a slugfest. They have the only goal, a power play goal by Cliff Ronning. They're out shooting the LA Kings, and up 1-0 as the teams return for the third period. What a great job the Ronning, Courtnall, Linden line has done for these fans. They've had 7 shots on goal over 2 periods, while the Gretzky, Sandstrom, Granato line for the Kings has managed only 3 shots on goal.
And I suppose to add a little to that, Jakes, it was Ronning that scored the goal, so they have a goal in 7 shots, and doing very well. Of course, with Granato, Sandstrom, and Gretzky, they're just not giving them the room to operate. Courtnall, at the end of the period, no penalties listed on the official sheet, so Courtnall, in ducking underneath Marty McSorley's check. That was after the buzzer blew to end the second period. Courtnall is fine. Marty McSorley is out skating around. He must have a tender knee, though. It was a long time before he got up. I don't think he's an actor, is he, Jakes?
Well, on occasion, I suppose, Ed.
But it wouldn't be there. That wouldn't be the place to be acting, would it?
No, not at all. If the acting was going on, it was certainly to try and show no pain to any of the Canucks who were still on the bench. Tom Webster knows whether he's all right or not. The LA coach, after having served a 4-game suspension, sees his team down 1-0. And Ellick on the face-off wins the draw from Ronning. Robinson has played it to Duchesne, back to Robinson. And the Kings come through center ice, led by Larry Robinson. McLean out of the Vancouver goal, trying to play it high off the boards, did, but Duchesne lets it rip. It's deflected by Dirk. Goes to the far side where it's handled now by Ronning, but they rule it was knocked down with a high stick. The face-off will be in the Vancouver end of the ice. 20 seconds into the third period. There's the goal scorer, Cliff Ronning.
Larry Robinson, who was one of the outstanding players in both games in Los Angeles, leading the rush for the Los Angeles Kings, going to take his expertise, his knowledge, his vast experience, particularly in playoff games. You can see him talking to his teammates, urging them on, giving them some pointers. Los Angeles has to find a way to try and bring the puck consistently into the Vancouver end of the ice. They have not been able to do it through the first two periods.
Crowd settling back into their seats. Capacity crowd. They've got every seat jammed here tonight. It's Ronning and Wayne Gretzky on that face-off. Going head-to-head with the big lines, are we? Duchesne turned the puck away from the Los Angeles line. Gretzky spots Duchesne. He moves across the line. Kept the play onside. A backhander, but turned aside by McLean. Here's Lidster. Takes it off the boards, right to Duchesne. His pass is tipped outside the line. Gretzky recovered, has spun it on into the Canucks zone, only to have Lidster clear it out, and Gretzky goes cross ice. That's Granato. Was bumped by Dirk, actually ran right into him, and the Canucks come away. Linden has sent Portnall over the line. Portnall shoots. Rudy stops it, covers it, gets a face-off.
Pretty good end-to-end action. The matchup, it was this matchup in Game 2 that allowed Gretzky on the second rebound to beat Troy Gamble in overtime to win the hockey game. Both times Los Angeles has had something going in this period. It's been led by a defenseman. First it was Larry Robinson, and then Duchesne. Here's Dirk as he leveled Tony Granato with a beautiful open ice check. This is Duchesne, Steve Duchesne, as he works his way through the defenseman of Vancouver. His backhand shot handled by Kirk McLean.
Now Todd Ellick is out for Los Angeles. Peter Nedved in the face-off circle for Vancouver wins the draw. Went to the right wing, and Dave Taylor gets to it first. And the Canucks send Gerald Diddick after it. Diddick gave it away. Ellick puts it in the far corner, and that's Lume. Lume works it to the left side. Sergio Momesso with it there. Cross ice to Nedved, put it on the stick, then gave it to Capuano for a shot. Pad save, and Rudy pulls the rebound smartly right back in and covers it.
What a beautiful display of goaltending by Kelly Rudy. He not only makes the save with his right pad, he's able to control the rebound as Vancouver, who backed up for a couple of shifts, are back in Los Angeles end of the ice. There's the kicking save by Kelly Rudy. Look how quickly he used his stick to hang on the puck. Gerald Diddick, the defenseman, had moved down into the center ice area in the high slot as Capuano's shot, as you look from behind the net, is stopped and captured by the goaltender, Kelly Rudy.
The face-off will be to his left. Murphy on the draw for Vancouver against Steve Casper of the Kings. Canucks 1, Kings nothing. Casper won the draw this time, and McSorley plays it around to the far side off Kadelski's stick. Merzen shoots it back in again. Rudy holds it up. Canucks get the play back on side. Here's Marty McSorley with it. McSorley waits for McIntyre to come back and banks it off the boards. Had nobody to give it to. And the Canucks set up again. Failed to get into the zone cleanly, but Murphy goes in after a loose puck. Got tangled up with Waters. Ojek on it now. Centers the late penalty. Rudy makes a save off Merzen and holds the puck. Los Angeles is going to be shorthanded, barring any further penalties on this shoving and pushing, but Dana Merzen had a tremendous opportunity to put Vancouver up 2 goals. Now they have a power play.
Because if you don't watch your figure, who will?
It's the right beer now.
Because when it comes to water, the only place to start is at the top.
It's the right beer now.
Because when the party's going full steam, you don't want to fill up. So reach for the beer that won't slow you down. The Silver Bullet.
McIntyre draws the only penalty. It's a roughing penalty. Gino Ojek with a beautiful pass. Vancouver with another scoring opportunity and a scuffle behind the net. A power play for Vancouver. There's Gino Ojek. Next to him, nearest to the camera, is Gerald Diddick.
Now Linden, Portnall, and Ronning out on the power plays. The puck came back toward the point. Curvers able to keep it in play, only to have the Kings work it down the boards. Curvers is back. Lume, Ronning, got it over the line. There's Linden. Portnall trying to come in off the right side. Goes for the puck as Casper went for the man instead. Up with it is Donnelly for Los Angeles. Donnelly and Casper crisscrossing. Donnelly dumps it in. They'll go for a rest. King sending out Gretzky and Granato as the penalty killers. Portnall danced away from McSorley, only to have Gretzky get to the puck. Back on it is Curvers. Lume, cross ice, Ronning tipped it toward Portnall. Plays it in around Waters, and it's handled now by Marty McSorley. Here's it from the crowd as he slaps it out of the zone and down the ice. Gretzky and Granato get a rest. Kadelski and Casper come back on. This is Gerald Diddick rushing with the puck. Gave it to Lidster. He's content to shoot it around the board. Ronning and Capuano out there together as the puck came back to Diddick. Now Portnall tight on the boards. Pulls it away from Casper. Got it in deeper. Capuano centers, and Rudy a smart play to knock it away from Ronning. Steve Casper has cleared the zone. Gretzky comes out again. 35 seconds left in the power play for the Canucks. Gerald Diddick. The Lidster. Canucks dump it in and then flood the right side of the ice. Diddick, Lemesso, Ronning, and Capuano all over there, and Gretzky comes away with the puck. He's over the line. In front, there's Granato. What a save by McLean!
Almost a very costly mistake by Gerald Diddick. He looked the wrong way. Didn't turn around as he should have, and he let Tony Granato get in behind him. What a stop. What a bailout by McLean for Gerald Diddick. There's Diddick. You see, he turned, he looked toward the puck carrier. That allowed Granato to get in behind him, and McLean makes a nice stop. Gretzky, with one of the few times he's been able to find somebody open, found Tony Granato.
It was a year ago tonight that Granato became the fourth player to score an overtime shorthanded goal. The Kings beat Calgary 2-1 a year ago tonight. But there, Granato couldn't beat Kirk McLean. Goaltending is certainly the story on the part of the Canucks, isn't it?
Kirk McLean, for anybody that felt a little uneasy about him being in goal, can rest a little easier now with some of the saves he's made, particularly a couple in the second period.
Now 10 seconds remaining in McIntyre's penalty. The Canucks into the Los Angeles zone. Rivers held it at the line. Adams went to center one off some skates, and it's cleared out of there. Donnelly has done his job. So has Casper. Now Robitaille comes out with Ellick and Taylor for Los Angeles. The Kings forced back into their own end of the ice. Larry Arnoff, Adams, and Mazur out for Vancouver. The Kings try to play it up the boards. Went right to Tom Curvers. Centers one. Larry Arnoff couldn't get set up for a shot. And the Kings clear it out. Merzen shoots it right back in again. Rudy couldn't slow it up. Adams lets it go to Mazur. Rudy kicked that aside. On Ellick. Blake tipping it out of the zone. And now it's shot back in again. We're 4.5 minutes into the third period. Still the Canucks 1. The Kings nothing as Todd Ellick comes over center. Over the Vancouver line. Trying to knife through the defense. Bumped by Lidster. Still able to play the puck around to Robitaille. To the point. Duchesne lets it go. Blocked in front. Here's an opportunity with McLean down, and the puck launches underneath him. Comes loose. Taylor to Robitaille. Back to the point. Benning is unable to hold it in. Volk trying to come down the right side, but he got slowed up just long enough by Benning to allow Rudy to handle it, and now Volk is right back on it. He's giving it to Ojek. Let it out toward the net. We've got a Vancouver player down on the ice. Gary Volk has been hurt.
He got nailed by Dave Taylor. A hard hit. He was looking back to the corner trying to drop the puck. Taylor ran over him.
Trainer Larry Ashley out to attend to Gary Volk, a young man out of North Dakota, 23 years of age. Now, Los Angeles had an opportunity in the big save by McLean off Granato. They came right back, still unable to score. And with 14 minutes, 45 seconds left, it's 1-0 Vancouver.
It was a simpler time. A time of hope and faith in the future. Blue jeans and white t-shirts were in. And people fell in love with the Miata. A ragtop, a two-seater, a true roadster. Everyone seemed to be feeling pretty good. The Mazda Miata. It not only gives you a glimpse of the 90s, it takes you back as well.
Back at the Pacific Coliseum, let's get you up to date on what's been going on tonight. Game 3 played around the Campbell Conference. We've got a beauty going here. All the other games are final now. Chicago came back to defeat Minnesota to take a 2-1 lead in that series. 6-5 as Jeremy Roenick scored the winner. JR has done the job all season long, hasn't he? And how about Detroit? Home ice advantage? It's in their favor now. 5-2 win over St. Louis and a 2-1 lead in the series. And a goal that CJ showed you earlier. Edmonton beats Calgary in the last minute of regulation time. And the Oilers, defending Stanley Cup champions as they are, lead the Flames 2-1. The year of the upset moves along. And our score, the Vancouver Canucks 1. The Calgary, the Los Angeles Kings, 0. Gretzky is out on the ice, so is Sandstrom, so is Granato for LA. Robinson laying it down into the Vancouver zone, chasing it is Lumet. Lumet gives it to Didick. Sandstrom moved over on him, and Didick just cleared the zone. That's Steve Duchesne with a pass to Sandstrom. Spun it off the boards toward McLean. Gretzky into forecheck, slowed up Lumet a little bit, and Sandstrom steals the puck. Fed it back. Duchesne in the high slot. Shoots. Gretzky the rebound, and it's turned aside. Out they come. Running over the line, offside. Again, they're head-to-head. The Gretzky line against the Ronning line.
Good scoring opportunity. McLean now standing his ground, making some good saves. Off the rebound, Tony Granato moments ago tried to tuck it in. Kirk McLean was able to make the saves. This is Duchesne. He had 5 shots through the first 2 periods and led both teams. There's the rebound by Granato. Look how he gave it the second effort. He got the shot away as Didick was upending him, taking him to the ice. There's the shot. There's Granato. Beautiful stop by McLean, who was committed on the original shot from the point.
22 shots by the LA Kings. Yeah, we are out west. Pacific Coliseum in Vancouver, British Columbia. I'm Jakes McDonald with Ed Westfall. That's Marty McSorley with the puck. Rushing it across the line. Can't get through the traffic. Peter Nedved. Took a look at Kadowski, went to the right side, put the puck back in the middle, and nothing doing there. Momesso gets knocked off his skates as Casper caught up to him. Dave Capuano trying to dig it off the boards, but Waters is there. Can't get it to Bob Kadowski. Capuano out of the corner. Chased back by Waters. Still tried to center. It rattles off McSorley, who recovers, and then gave it to Kadowski. Cross ice. Here's Donnelly. Tries to get the defense back in. McSorley moves up. Gives the pass to Kadowski in the slot. Donnelly kicks it back. Gretzky couldn't handle it to the line. And Capuano feeds Nedved on the backhand, and the shot is wide. A delayed penalty call. It'll be against Los Angeles. Canucks get the goaltender up, and Kadowski has touched the puck now. And Vancouver goes to the power play, leading 1-0. We pause now for a regional break. You're watching Sports Channel America's exclusive Stanley Cup coverage.
If you're concerned about getting rid of weeds this way, try a better way. I'm Jim Martindale, here to introduce you to the Weed Popper. Place the Weed Popper next to a weed, step down, and the weed pops right out. The Weed Popper pulls weeds without kneeling, bending, and without chemicals that may be dangerous to our groundwater supply. The Weed Popper, with its 100% lifetime guarantee, pops weeds out as easy as 1, 2, 3.
The Weed Popper is available at Kmart, Lumberjack, participating Our Own and Coast to Coast hardware stores. Makes a great gift for friends who garden.
Tony 27-year-old Detroit native Mike Donnelly draws a hooking penalty on Peter Nedved. There's Nedved as he tries to fight to the backhand to get a shot away. Donnelly hooks him up, draws a penalty. Donnelly, acquired for his speed and penalty killing, give them that kind of depth, takes an unnecessary penalty. Vancouver, another power play.
On the man advantage, it'll be Linden, Ronning, and Courtnall up front. Killing it off for LA. McIntyre and Kadowski at the front end. Robinson and Blake on defense. Over the line is Courtnall trying to cut in. Can't get around Robinson, and Rudy just reaches out and covers a slow-moving puck.
Kelly Rudy generally likes to keep that kind of a puck in motion, but he had all of his players, all 4 penalty killers, skating back toward him. He had no out. Had to hang on to it.
This is the 5th power play of the game for the Vancouver Canucks. The only goal tonight came on a power play. Ronning scored from Courtnall and Lume 41 seconds into the second period. McIntyre and Rudy discuss the situation. Kasper will take the face-off to Rudy's right.
Kasper came off the bench to replace Kadowski. That's for his face-off ability.
It's Trevor Linden on this face-off. Won by Linden. Lume feeds Linden. In deep to Ronning. Jabbed it toward the front of the net. Robinson and Ronning after it. Here's Courtnall with a drive. Rudy has it.
Kelly Rudy, in anticipation of that play by Courtnall, saw Courtnall move to the spot to his right. He moved out, knowing that all of the forwards on the power play were on that side of the ice. There's Kelly Rudy standing on the top of his goal crease, cutting off any angle that Courtnall would have.
Courtnall had 3 shots on Rudy through 2 periods. Pat Quinn, no change. He does have everybody in. The defenseman, Curvers, is just to the right of Linden. Courtnall also on the edge of the face-off circle to the right, Ronning on the left. The only man back would be Lume, and he's about 15 feet inside the blue line. Key here is to win the face-off.
You would think that Linden would try to draw it.
Kasper beat him. Robinson works it around the boards. McIntyre up through center ice. Kasper joining him. McIntyre, big drive. Good save by McLean. He keeps the play moving. Curvers works it out towards center, but McSorley will shoot it back in again. Curvers back here.
One of the few mistakes, Jiggs, that Vancouver have made on that area. They just allowed him, McIntyre, to skate in and take the shot. Courtnall let him go.
Now Waters breaks up the Vancouver play, only to have Ronning bring it across the line. Skirted away from Granato. Lays it around the boards. Courtnall waiting for it. Jeff Courtnall gets checked, but it went to Ronning, to Linden, and he couldn't put it on Lume's stick. Gretzky battling Lume. The Canucks control it. Ronning from back of the net, trying to stuff in. Nothing doing. Gretzky got knocked down, but still able to propel the puck down the ice. Now he'll get a rest. Kasper and Kadowski out together. Robinson trying to knock the puck out of the air. Diddick crowds them. In after it here. Nedved, but it went right to Kadowski, and he promptly shoots it down the ice. 23 seconds left in Donnelly's holding penalty. 11.5 minutes left in the third period at Vancouver. Canucks up 1-0.
Vancouver, Jiggs, just a little too loose on this power play that they're having. Only got a 1-0 lead, and they're tied in shots on this power play, 1 apiece.
Granato forced them back in. See what Diddick does. He gave it away. Gretzky to Granato to Robinson. Shot it wide. Gretzky with it again. Round the net to Granato. Teams at 6 aside. Tony Granato to Wayne Gretzky. Cross ice. Tipped by Momesso. Duchesne has it. Steve Duchesne with the puck up and in. Put it in front, and Gretzky tipped it wide. Now Sandstrom can't center. Momesso puts it over Robinson's head. Down the ice. Rudy is forced out to play it. Around the boards to Duchesne. Bumped solidly by Momesso. Nedved comes back, but Sandstrom has the puck, then gets checked at the blue line. Sandstrom and Merzen pushed at one another as we watch Nedved bring the play on into the LA zone. Robinson gets to the puck. Up ahead is Robitaille. Gretzky being held by Nedved. The pass to Sandstrom. He shoots. McLean kicks it aside. Sandstrom and Gretzky back to the net for the Kings. Nedved ties up Gretzky. Here's Robitaille centering the puck. That is tipped wide, but right to Gretzky. Gretzky trying to get away from Nedved. Can't do it. Adams for the Canucks. Up the right side. Here's Mazur. Mazur went over Blake and couldn't catch up with the puck. Todd Ellick through center. Things have really opened up now. The Canucks are over the line. Adams off left wing. Shoots. Rudy has it in the catching glove. 9 minutes and 50 seconds left in the third period in Vancouver. We pause now for a regional break. You're watching Sports Channel America's exclusive Stanley Cup coverage.
Tune in Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock for the Mariners against the A's.
Vancouver does not want to make the mistake of opening things up. McIntyre down the left wing side. That was Courtnall with a couple of stick checks. Watch this blast. Good stop. How cool, how calm. That was the play off McIntyre. Then Luke Robitaille finds Thomas Sandstrom. Another good save by McLean.
Los Angeles with 6 shots on goal through this period. They're deep in their own zone as we watch Ellick move it around the boards. It spins out through center ice, and Lidster drops back. And Robitaille, Taylor, and Ellick for L.A. McSorley and Waters on defense. For Vancouver, it was the running line. Courtnall is still out there, but now Mazur and Larry Arnoff have come out. Courtnall in no hurry to complete the change. Taylor has dumped the puck in. Lidster went back, but a delayed offside has been called. Now 9 minutes and 9 seconds left in the third period. There's had only 1 goal.
Attention! Company! Dismiss!
The people of Delta would like to recognize the sacrifice made by our armed forces and their families.
We do have a special military affairs.
Now, with our Welcome Home fares, active military personnel and their eligible family dependents can travel to USA for 70% less.
Albuquerque, New Mexico? Is that your hometown?
That's right, ma'am. I'm going home.
Delta, we love to fly, and it shows.
Welcome back to the Pacific Coliseum.
You know, there's something here in Vancouver that I can't remember doing, and maybe the last time we were here in a playoff game with the Islanders and the Vancouver Canucks trying to yell over the din of the crowd. Not often we've had to do that. It's wonderful.
The playoff experience. Crowd of 16,123. Capacity crowd. They'll be back again Wednesday. We hope you will be too. We'll have it for you on Sports Channel America. Peter Nedved is asked to leave the face-off area. Capuano will move in. McIntyre has his stick down, ready. Capuano beat him, and Lume comes away with the puck. Lume at the right side. That's Nedved, and stepping into block it is Blake. Up the right wing to McIntyre. He's across the Vancouver line. Checked from behind. The puck goes to Tonelli. Tonelli to Blake. Winds up for a drive. It's blocked. Hit Lume. Now Benning with a shot. A save by McLean. Gretzky puts it in front. It bounces around. Back to Benning. Pulls to the right. Now shoots it well wide of the net. And Momesso reaches in. Can't get to it. Blake has set up Gretzky. From behind the net. Put it in the goal mouth. Tonelli takes it from Benning. Now Gretzky with the puck. Wayne Gretzky to Tonelli. And he shot it just wide. It's put to the side of the net again, but recovered. And Lume spots Nedved moving out. Nedved and Capuano. Nedved shot is blocked by Benning. Benning plays it up ahead. There's Tonelli. Gretzky is with him at center ice. 2 Canucks back. Tonelli over the line to Gretzky. Pulls the trigger and just missed the net on a booming shot. Tonelli centers. Gretzky shoots. He scores!
You can keep him off of the score sheet for a certain amount of time, but very difficult to do it all the time. The game opening up more to the liking of Wayne Gretzky and his Los Angeles Kings. They have tied the score with just over 8 minutes between the legs of McLean, and Wayne Gretzky has given some life to the LA Kings.
He is now tied with Yari Curry, 92 career playoff goals, the most by any players in the history of the National Hockey League. The closest, Mark Messier, coming into tonight's game with 76. Glenn Anderson had 75 at the start of tonight's game, I believe. But this game is even at 1-1, and we have 7 minutes and 56 seconds left in the third period at Vancouver. The Canucks have just iced the puck. Clock stopped with 7 minutes and 47 seconds. Ronning for Vancouver, Gretzky for LA.
Extra strength Rolaids antacid. Stronger because it has more calcium carbonate, more than any Tums tablet, and salt-free. More calcium carbonate and salt-free. This settles it once and for all.
I used to have dandruff, so I tried Head & Shoulders. Then I tried Selsun Blue. Blue is better.
Selsun Blue relieves dandruff flaking better than Head & Shoulders, and doctors recommend it more than Head & Shoulders, Denerex, and Tegrin.
Blue is better.
Selsun Blue.
The pace of the game starting to tell on some of the players. I had expected to see Gretzky heading off with the play in the offensive zone, but he didn't. John Tonelli stayed in. There's the shot. As the play kept going from behind the net, Tonelli passed it. You could see it bounce off the defenseman, Tom Curvers, but it bounced to the right direction, and that allowed Gretzky to pop it in.
Gretzky with a goal in each of the 3 playoff games, and there's a chance for Kedelski, and it went wide. Comes back to McSorley. His shot is deflected. Ends up back in the net. Ronning has it. They got Kedelski, Donnelly, and Ellick out against the Ronning line just now. Tom Curvers, the Vancouver defenseman, played it up the glass. Ellick kept it in the Canuck zone, but knocked it down with a high stick. Canucks are next to play it. Play moves on. Out comes Trevor Linden. Left side to Courtnall, trying to move in on McSorley, and Kedelski is able to bang one off the boards. It'll go the length of the ice. The whistle is for icing. 7 minutes and 4 seconds left in the third period. Face-off coming in the Los Angeles end of the ice. Kirk McLean, whose season ended on the 27th of February, tendonitis in his left wrist, back in the action tonight.
There's a shot by Kedelski. He got his glove on it. Kirk McLean had just enough time to move his left hand, and that deflected Kedelski's attempt to put LA ahead. Beautiful play again by LA as they kept the pressure on, creating some scoring opportunities.
The Canucks have Nedved, Capuano, and Momesso out on the ice. It is Ellick with Robitaille and Taylor for Los Angeles. Now Ellick bats the puck toward the boards. Dirk got to it and shot it wide of Rudy. Lidster charges in off the right point, gets checked on the boards. Maintained control of it, however. And now Nedved centers one, steered aside by Rudy. Dave Capuano overskated it, and out come the Kings. Robitaille has Taylor moving up. He's given it to Ellick. 3-on-2. Things open up, and Robitaille's shot is tipped up into the seats. Lidster reaching in, puts the puck out of play. 6 minutes and 43 seconds left.
For the first time in history, the compact pickup ranked most trouble-free was also ranked highest in truck customer satisfaction. Mazda, a truck so tough, we guarantee it long enough for a trip around the world. Twice. Mazda trucks, guaranteed tough.
It just feels right.
The pom-poms, the help of the capacity crowd. Will it be enough to get the Canucks a win here tonight? Gretzky on the face-off. Stepping around him to clear it out was Larry Arnott. Dropping back is Blake. To Tony Granato. Renato rushes it across the line, trying to get it to Sandstrom. It comes back to the far side, however, and there's Greg Adams. Blake takes him off the puck. Shooting it down the ice is Benning. He put it on the stick of Granato to Gretzky. Back to Granato to the point for Blake. Trying to move it in deep to Gretzky. Nothing doing, and Mazur gets poke checked at center ice. Now Benning knocks it away. It stays at the line and is offside as Adams brings it into the LA end of the ice.
That's a gamble he had to take. The puck hadn't cleared, hadn't gone in to LA's end of the ice. It sat on the line, but it's a good gamble. If you get away with it, you've got a 2-on-1 break. If you don't, stoppage of play.
Wayne Gretzky scored the game winner in overtime on Saturday night, giving Los Angeles a 3-2 win, only his third overtime goal in Stanley Cup playoff history. The most overtime goals, Rocket Richard, 6 in his fabulous career.
Doesn't Bobby Nystrom have quite a few also? He must be up there near Richard. 4 or 5 anyway.
Yeah, he does. There are, I believe, a dozen players along with Gretzky now with 3 overtime Stanley Cup playoff goals, and then there's 4 and 5 and the Rocket with 6. We are staring at overtime again tonight. 6 minutes exactly to play in the third period. The puck in the Vancouver zone, but controlled here by Courtnall. He got checked. Donnelly and Casper moving in deep. LA quick to get the third man back. And the Canucks trying to come out of the zone. Courtnall turns, got checked. Loose puck, Morrison chases it. Casper chases him. Robitaille moves in, so does Linden. Casper trying to get away from Merzen, goes back to the net, the puck loose. Robitaille has it, can't step around Curvers. And up comes Ronnie, the little guy. Finds Courtnall on the left side. Linden up to join the play. Courtnall holding it, can't get anybody open, and Kadowski feeds Ellick. Left side to Robitaille. He's over the line, tipped it up ahead. Ellick got it to Duchesne, and his shot, a slow-moving one, was turned aside. Lidster has it now. Lidster on to Courtnall. He's into the LA zone, gets tangled up and taken down by Waters. Waters recovers, trying to move the puck up the boards, does. This is Davey Taylor to Luke Robitaille. 2-on-1, Ellick to the net. Robitaille can't get it around Lidster. Luke Robitaille centers, and McSorley's shot is turned aside. Robitaille trying to put it in front. LA has stepped up the tempo. They've got Vancouver back in, or did have, and here's Capuano over the line. Puts it behind Kelly Rudy's cage. It's picked up by McSorley. Both teams and player changes.
LA reversing the roles, Jigs. They've got more to give right now in the third period physically than the Vancouver Canucks.
Sandstrom was there, couldn't break through. Yeah, you're right. Gretzky's line intact. Renato joining Sandstrom. And number 99. Here's Benning. He's over the Vancouver line. Coming in on goal with a drive. Tipped by Lume and out of play.
One of the things that the LA Kings have been able to do, particularly with Gretzky on the ice, is they've been allowed to let the defensemen rush in and take shots. Everybody so conscious of covering Gretzky, covering Granato, and covering Sandstrom, that allows the defense to step up into the pocket and let some shots go.
I almost get the feeling that our second intermission guest, Tiger Williams, found a way to get into the Los Angeles dressing room. He was talking about that. They had to step up the tempo. They weren't skating. They weren't taking the play to Vancouver. Well, they have jacked it up. They brought the tempo up and tied the game on a goal by Gretzky at 11:53. The reference on the left side of your screen, some turtles, they call it the Great Turtle Race between Winnipeg and Vancouver to see who would finish fourth and go to the playoffs. The Canucks did.
I think when you look at game plans, Jigs, and you think of what the LA Kings had to do at the beginning from the first game was to apply pressure on the young defense and the inexperienced Vancouver Canuck hockey team, and they weren't able to do it.
Falling there was Larry Arnott. Moving in as Adams. Rudy beats him. Big rebound. Oh, shot wide by Mazur. Back to the blue line, and Merzen can't hold it. There's Gretzky in a race down the right side. Comes in with a drive. McLean the save.
End to end. What a chance.
Can you believe it? Rudy at one end, then McLean at the other. Oh, what goaltending.
There's the opportunity. Adams has the best chance. Kelly Rudy beats him. In behind, quickly on the rebound, is Jay Mazur. He shot it just outside the goalpost. There's Adams. He had the best chance in the first period when he shot it by the open mouth of the net. And down at the other end, Wayne Gretzky, as he outraces the defenseman, grabs the puck. It's a 2-on-1, but he opts to shoot it. Good stop by Kirk McLean. Look how far out he was, gambling on Gretzky taking the shot.
Curvers trying to get back. The shots on goal are even, 31 by each team. The score is 1-1. 3 minutes and 48 seconds remains in regulation time. Casper on the draw, beaten this time. Nedved pulled it back. Capuano can't clear it. Robinson held it in. Capuano plays it around the boards. Momesso goes to left wing. Spotted an opportunity to dump it out and did. It's brought right back up ice by Duchesne. Plays it around Gert, gets to it again. Duchesne gets knocked down, can't center it in time for Casper, and back come the Canucks. Over the line, Momesso. Big drive. Rudy snares it, drops it off, and then decides to cover it. Check that glove, no hole.
He was trying to fire it out. I think he wanted to unloosen it. He felt that he could trap a couple of the Vancouver players as they rushed in on him. There's the play coming out of Vancouver's end of the ice and into LA's. Momesso, that's drive, easily handled. Kelly Rudy opted to duck out of the way and catch it, so you knew he had it for sure. Then he couldn't release it. Robinson was looking back over his shoulder, knowing that up in the center ice area, he had to have at least one, possibly two of his teammates.
Sergio Momesso slowly toward the Vancouver bench. They've sent out Ronning, Linden, and Courtnall. Los Angeles counters with Casper about to take the face-off. McIntyre is also out there in case Casper is thrown out. Right in front, Courtnall, and what a stop by Rudy. McSorley hand passed it. That's all right in his own zone. And the Canucks dump it right back in. Vancouver wins a face-off. Courtnall can't get the Canucks ahead. Here's Alec. At center ice, Kentowski with a pass to the open wing. Robitaille and Courtnall chasing it. They overskated it. Let Alec handle it. Couldn't cut through the defense. Lidster for the Canucks. Up ahead to Ronning. McSorley and Waters both trying to poke check him. Ronning goes to the corner for it. Works it around the boards. Taylor tries to get away from Courtnall. Does, and clears the zone. Back goes Lidster. Robitaille moves in now. Lidster is able to shoot it down the ice. First man to touch it is Rob Blake. That's an icing call against Vancouver. 2 minutes and 28 seconds left. Period 3. 1-1 is the score. And Rob Blake gets an opportunity now to move up and join the play on a face-off coming in the Vancouver zone.
Pace of the hockey game starting to show on the faces and in the legs of both teams. You can see some of them laboring, trying to bring the puck out of their own end of the ice. Get it. Face-off in Kelly Rudy's end of the ice. What a chance for Jeff Courtnall to win the hockey game, and Kelly Rudy beat him.
On that replay, it appeared that the Canucks didn't actually win it cleanly. An LA player tipped it right in front, and Courtnall, it appeared, a little startled, but he had the opportunity. Canucks out shooting LA 33-31. There's Sandstrom. Can't get the 30-second shot. And Adams. Thomas Sandstrom with Lume in front of him. The puck to Granato. Can't get it in front of the net. Okay, Lume breaks the zone. Up ahead is Adams. Couldn't get across the line. Sandstrom drops it back. That's Benning with a feed to Gretzky. Wayne Gretzky. Nice pass over the line with it was Blake. He drives to the front of the net. They can't get it to him again. It comes back toward Benning. Unloads. That's tipped wide and a deflection from Granato. Lume can't get it to Mazur. Sandstrom unable to get it to Gretzky. The Canucks aren't out of the zone. That long pass went to Adams. Now to Diddick, and he shot it in from center ice. Comes all the way around the boards, out toward center, where both teams trying to make changes. Over center, on into the Canucks zone as Dave Taylor puts a move on Curvers. The puck in his skates and then is picked up by Momesso. Rivers, long pass behind Capuano. Gretzky comes across the line, trying to move in on Momesso. Gretzky back to the net. 3 men in front. Duchesne with a shot that's blocked. The rebound, and they can't get it teed up in time. Dave Taylor was there. But back comes Capuano. Down the right side, Robinson goes toward him. Frees the puck. Robinson ahead to Robitaille. We approach the final minute of the third period. Checking here is Nedved, putting it back to the net. The Canucks get on it again. Capuano turns it over, however. Out comes Robitaille. Luke Robitaille into the Vancouver zone. Gretzky to Ketelski, just wide with that blast. That's Momesso. Dumps it in from his own side of center ice. Uh-oh. Icing, face-off in the Canucks zone with 37 seconds left.
That happens when players get tired. They don't know what to do with the puck. They can't get to the red line. They think if I dump it high enough, will it stop before it goes across the goal line and create an icing? That's what he didn't want to have happen, and it did. The Kings love it. Vancouver have to worry about a face-off in their own end of the ice.
You talk about hockey sense. Watch Wayne Gretzky. He turns, he sees the Vancouver player flip it up in the air. Right there, Momesso. No point in changing it. Wayne's already saying that's icing. Let it go. He could have a whistle, referee, play, do it all. Didn't waste any energy turning and chasing the puck. And now, Tom Webster has sent Kasper, Tonelli, and Ketelski in to take this face-off. Ronning on the draw for the Canucks. Linden and Courtnall with him. Benning and McSorley are at the points. Kasper turns on the forward, running, and then McSorley puts it in the corner. Lidster clears it out. McSorley has it again to Benning. Benning's pass is tipped into the center ice area. Ronning reaching for it, gets control, and now shoots it in with 20 seconds left. That's the clock in the top right corner of your picture. Courtnall knocks it down, cuts in on Rudy, the shot blocked in front. Kasper with 10 seconds gets out of the zone. Backhands the puck into the Vancouver territory. Lidster and Tonelli in after it. Tonelli can't dig it off the boards. We're headed for overtime.
Going to be some tired players for the overtime, but no one in either team is about to give up. What a job by Kirk McLean in the third period.
The series that was supposed to be a given. It's been a lot of fun. 1-1 is the score at the end of regulation time. Let's pause now for a regional break.
In particular, how about Jeff Courtnall at the end with only seconds remaining in the hockey game after a face-off? The puck comes to him, point-blank range, about 10 feet in front of Kelly Rudy. And Rudy, again, with the experience, instead of staying back, he moved out quickly, knowing that Courtnall had no other options but to shoot it. And he took away a lot of the shooting space of Jeff Courtnall.
Kirk McLean in the nets tonight. 30 saves. Kelly Rudy, 32 saves. So through 3 games, the goals for and against are even. The shots for and against are even. And the next goal will determine this game and the 2-1 lead in the best-of-7 series. Pat Quinn has sent out Courtnall, Ronning, and Linden. There are the records in overtime. Previous playoffs, including Saturday night, LA within 1 of being 500. And the Canucks only 4-8. It's Kasper, Ketelski, and Donnelly for Los Angeles. Ketelski reaching in, tapped it toward Donnelly. He gets stripped of the puck, and Courtnall can't get it across the line. Bob Ketelski fails to get over center ice. Ronning is punched by Duchesne. There's going to be a penalty. Steve Duchesne, not a smart play, just pop. I mean pop the Vancouver player, and the Kings are shorthanded.
The person closest to the action was the referee. Dan Marawali was standing only a few feet away when Steve Duchesne took it upon himself to pop Ronning one. The temptation was too great. Right there, look at Marawali. He's standing there looking at him. Ronning, of course, gave back to the push, snapped his head, added a little extra, and he got Steve Duchesne a couple of minutes.
Vancouver's only goal in this game has come on the power play. Can they do it now? Portnoy, Ronning, and Linden remain on the ice. Lume and Curvers on the points. Sixth power play chance in the game. LA to kill it off with Casper and Donnelly. Blake and Robinson on defense. Draw one by Ronning. Lume is giving it to Curvers. Back to Lume. Lume tried to go cross ice. That hit Donnelly and goes out of play at the Vancouver bench. Well, we're back to where we were in the first two periods. After every whistle, there will be a pushing and shoving match.
Donnelly, who has done such a good job in penalty killing for the Los Angeles Kings. Lume has been outstanding for Vancouver. That was a poor choice of plays. He's trying to make a cross-the-rink pass at the blue line. Penalty killers love it, whether you're a defenseman or a forward. It gives you an opportunity to spear a puck. That's where breakaways come from.
Casper and Ronning to face off. Ronning won it. Lume unable to play it through Casper. Ronning drops back to help the defense. Now peels to the right side. Casper was right on Lume. So after taking the turn, he's given it to Curvers. To Portnoy. Off right wing. He stepped one. Rudy has it. Play is called.
A freebie for Jeff Portnoy. He's on the off-wing side. He's got a little bit of shooting room. Take a chance. Maybe Kelly Rudy will mishandle it. He tried to go for the short side, but Kelly Rudy, steady, handled it easily.
Rudy's water bottle was empty. Steve Casper has come back to get a new one, so Rudy gets a little extra time for his penalty killers.
Having played only 51 seconds. I think a lot of time that's nervous habit, Jigs, of goaltenders having the water bottle back there. They, of course, I suppose being nervous a little bit into overtime hockey, a little dehydrated, possibly a whole lot, although the temperature here much different than in LA.
You just said a mouthful. Yeah, it is much cooler in Vancouver. The ice is held up well. The puck comes back to Curvers. Long shot deflected wide of the net. Ronning trying to dig it off the mesh. It'll be held there. Robinson makes sure just putting a skate on the puck. Vancouver defense stays high. Face-off will be to the left. Well, including the overtime on Saturday night and the 3 complete games, each team has scored 9 goals. The shots on goal are dead even, including what we were at the end of regulation time, 33-31. 100 shots on goal for each team. It's been some series. Matt Quinn scratching his head. He's got Trevor Linden to take the face-off. Steve Casper on behalf of Los Angeles. Casper turned on Linden. The puck came back, and there's Curvers. Rudy stretches out to block that. McIntyre works it up the right side. Casper trying to poke it around. Curvers could not. He's headed to Portnoy. Robinson checks in. Now it's McIntyre shooting it down the ice. Lane tips it toward Curvers. Up to Ronning. They look toward Linden, but waits for Portnoy to move into the center ice area, and Portnoy put the play offside at the Los Angeles blue line. 55 seconds left in Duchesne's roughing penalty. There's Trevor Linden.
20-year-old Trevor Linden, one of the players that Vancouver is going to rely on, of course, with his age and his skating ability. Hopefully he can apply a lot of pressure. Nedved, 19, he's out there. Talked about the fact that the younger legs of Vancouver, if they use them right, should be a big help.
Momesso and McSorley sticks up a little. Linesmen come in. Gerard Gauthier, now Jerry Papen talking to the 2 players. Wayne Gretzky and Tony Granato are the forwards. Gretzky against Nedved, and the puck ends up in the LA zone. Shot down the ice by Waters. Going back for it, Tom Curvers. Joined now by Nedved. He crisscrosses with Capuano. And Lume works it up ahead. Momesso has tipped it into the zone. Waters drives it out of there. Now the Canucks step over the line. Lume has dropped it to Momesso. Shot one wide of Kelly Rudy. Waters chased it, but Nedved is quick to get to it. Feeds the point. Here's Curvers. In on the right side is Nedved. Deeper now to Capuano. Cross ice. Things open up. Lume centers, and Momesso can't get it teed up. Nedved gets tied up. Makes Sorley up quickly. Granato one-touched it toward Gretzky. They crisscross, and a nice play by Lume to knock it away. Up now to Nedved, to the backhand. The shot turned aside. The rebound is there. Lume shoots. Rudy the save. The Kings come away. Teams at 6 aside. Joining the play is Duchesne out of the box. He shoots. Just missed on a low drive. Granato holds it in the Canucks zone. Gretzky was filled in front of the net. Granato puts it in the goal mouth, only to have McLean block it, then smother it and get a face-off.
End-to-end action here out of the penalty box. What a scoring chance, but not before Vancouver tested Kelly Rudy again. Duchesne was still in the penalty box when Vancouver broke across the line. They had not had that many chances with the man advantage, but they got them just before the penalty ended. Nedved started with the backhand shot. Lume walked in, grabbed the puck. Look at the shot, saved by Kelly Rudy. Then breaking out Tony Granato. He feeds the puck ahead. They caught Duchesne coming out of the box. He broke in on the left side and missed the net with a blast.
Canucks have had 4 shots on Kelly Rudy in this overtime. The Canucks trying to move out of the zone. Cleared the puck out, only to have it shot back in. Lidster gets to it. Moves the puck smartly off Larry Aronoff's skates, however. Greg Adams gets checked by Todd Ellick, but it's offside. We have played 2 minutes and 40 seconds of sudden death overtime. There's Todd Ellick. And that young man, Greg Adams, knows he's not only involved in overtime here, his wife is expecting momentarily. Could be any moment. His wife, Kim, is due, and they're just sitting on pins and needles, and the Adams household is topsy-turvy.
Yeah, they had expected the baby to be born sometime on the weekend, but the baby, I suppose, is into overtime, not arriving. Maybe holding out for a bigger contract. Or maybe his wife is.
People in Nelson, BC, where the Adams make their home, watching on Sports Channel America. Ran into some folks who had just come back from a cruise from Mexico, returned to Los Angeles, even on the cruise ship. They were watching the Canucks and the Kings on Sports Channel America. Satellite dish, I presume. Robitaille shot one off Ronning and out at center ice. Blake has it. Over the line, Ellick trying to get it to Robitaille. Couldn't get a handle on it. Up the ice is Linden. Over the LA line with a pass to Courtnall. To Merson. Kicked out. There's Ronning. Goes Rudy.
Pretty hard to talk over it. Let's just watch. Vancouver, Ronning grabs the rebound. How much room did he have? Not much. But he rattled it around inside the cage, and it's all over. The only shot in overtime by the Vancouver Canucks. Talk about Trevor Linden. He's got the legs and the youth to lead the rush. Courtnall had the smarts to drop it back, and the shot by Dana Merson. The rebound to Ronning. Boy, what a backhand shot. Perfectly placed.
He has had 4 playoff goals in 3 games for the Vancouver Canucks. This, obviously, the biggest in his career. The celebration will go on for a long, long time.
What an opportunity for Duchesne when he came out of the penalty box and he missed the net. That could have ended it, but it's Ronning. It's Arthur Griffith and his family, the owners of the Vancouver Canucks, as they celebrate from their suite.
These people want a curtain call, and who can blame them? 16,123 continue to celebrate. The Vancouver Canucks lead this best-of-7 series 2-1. Cliff Ronning with the game winner at 3 minutes and 12 seconds of sudden death overtime. How about these upstarts from Vancouver? Nothing has changed since we were away. They're still standing and cheering at the Pacific Coliseum. The Vancouver Canucks, in overtime, they beat the Los Angeles Kings by a score of 2-1 and take a 2-1 lead in this best-of-7 series. Who got the goal? Cliff Ronning, the little guy.
Talk about transition. This time it was Vancouver's transition. Mersen's shot, the rebound, Ronning fooled Kelly Rudy by going to his backhand. And here's the bench as they watch their team go down. They're waiting. Ronning goes to the backhand, and it's in.
We showed you a graphic before the overtime, or just as it was beginning. This is only the 5th career overtime win for the Vancouver Canucks. How sweet this is. How many of us had counted the Vancouver Canucks out even before the series began? Thanks to Cliff Ronning, Vancouver leads the series. And Cliff, you've got to be one very happy and proud hockey player.
I was very excited there. I actually panicked. I was going to shoot, and all of a sudden he came out at me, and I don't know what happened. I just kind of flicked it at net, and I was very fortunate. It was a great feeling.
That was the question I was going to ask you, Cliff. It's Ed Westfall, and I thought for a moment you deliberately froze Kelly Rudy and then went to the backhand.
Well, what happened there was I was waiting for a rebound. The rebound came, and then all of a sudden I just kind of panicked, and then I got I don't know, a little bit of a sense there that maybe I could go to my backhand, and I got it upstairs, but I was a little fortunate that I didn't panic too much.
You could call it a positive panic. Tell us about the dressing room after losing the last game in overtime. What were some of your thoughts and your teammates getting ready for this overtime?
Well, to be honest with you, that one goal that Wayne Gretzky scored, it was a lot to do with our line that stayed out too long, trying to do too much for the team, and it cost us. Tonight we went a little shorter shifts when it counted, when we started getting tired. But all in all, Kirk McLean played great. I knew he'd play good, and I think everyone played good tonight. Jyrki Lumi looked great out there. Just a good team effort, and we're playing well as a team, and that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, your goal is dramatic, but I think the other facet of this whole series has been the goaltending. Gamble for 2 games is brilliant. When did you know that Kirk McLean was going to be in the nets?
Well, we kind of figured it. Troy Gamble was thrown up on the way back from the game. The whole way he was getting sick, motion sickness or something, and we felt that he might have a concussion again or something, but we knew that Kirk McLean was practicing hard. He looked good. He's a very solid goalie, and hopefully this will carry us.
Tell me about the chemistry on the line. Now, you come over in a trade along with Courtnall. Linden's already here, and he's the hometown favorite. You grew up in this area, and of course, Courtnall is a BC boy. This is some story as well.
Well, I think so. You know, we have a lot of pride in the uniform now. The organization was used to losing, and to be honest with you, we're sick of losing, and I think that it's starting to show how we're playing now. Yeah, we know we're not the best hockey team, but we're sick of losing, and we're trying to work as hard as we can.
The work ethic, I guess, is really the key factor here. And also the addition now of Adams to the lineup. It gives LA something else to be concerned about. He had some chances tonight, too.
That's for sure. He's a little tired out there, a little out of shape, but we know he's going to come through for us. He's been a proven goal scorer right from, you know, the day he started, and I think that he's going to really help us out down the road here.
Cliff, could you tell us a little bit about the play of Jyrki Lumi? From where we sat, he was nothing short of brilliant.
Well, the guy is so strong on the puck. He's got great speed. I would say he's one of the best skaters in the league. You try to get him motivated, and he can play. He can stick handle, he can shoot, and he's a very big key to our defense because he can handle it and make the plays.
Cliff, we appreciate your time and your honesty with us. Again, our congratulations. You didn't keep us here all night, but the fans are still in the concourse. They've been watching the monitors there, as we have been. And it was Cliff Roning's goal, 3 minutes and 12 seconds into overtime, that brought this reaction. The Canucks standing. Roning gets open, goes upstairs, and it's all over. The Canucks win it in overtime. We'll have more Stanley Cup hockey tomorrow night. 7:30 Eastern Time. Check your listings. The Pittsburgh Penguins leading the Devils 2-1, play at New Jersey. And the Boston Bruins up 2-1 in that series, play at Hartford. That action tomorrow night on Sports Channel America. And here once again the final score in overtime. The Canucks 2, the Los Angeles Kings 1. For Ed Westfall, I'm Jakes McDonald saying goodnight from the Pacific Coliseum in Vancouver.